Welcome back to the Unfortunate Sons, session 44. It's time for a concert. Last time we left off, the party enjoyed their insanity feast. Starting off with the party immediately almost splitting apart, breaking up, and poor Eider having to watch all of his hard work over the last 42 sessions falling apart before his eyes as Kezenok found himself guilty and wanting to return back to his people to try and assist in any way that he could. Dom finding themselves running off a little bit irritated and needing time to think away from the party as they headed off to the springs. As the party would split in half, we'd have Eider and Ned and Kez having a moment of clarity, figuring out how the Morans and their house seemed to work as a seemingly corkboard moment came to mind with Kez as certain things started to line up. Eider also giving a pretty harsh and convincing reality check as the two kind of had a bit of a back and forth as the session went on. Meanwhile, Dom would find themselves in the opulent springs, making friends with the new right hand of Regan Utham himself or herself, an individual wizard who seemed a little bit more interested in Dom than many would have expected, giving some solid advice, trying to point them in a decent direction. No, Utham is not a woman now. I'm talking about the wizard, her being a chick. But as the party would come back together to join at the feast, being called by Zebril and being allowed to sit on being brought to a small table upon the larger table while enjoying some food and some dance, Kez would find himself not only with a bit of more information as he found out some clarification from one of the World News reporters, but also finding out the world isn't as much of an honest place as he had thought or expected amongst those of noble birth. As he found himself explained of what the truth behind his clinic burning down and what actually supposedly happened. Though even that left Kez questioning what was the truth in reality. With that, though, Kez would find himself entertaining the party as Zebril and Utham would head off into their own quarters to relax for a moment to discuss a few things. Dom and Eider following after them to find out ask and answer a few questions. With Eider heading in first ahead of Dom and I believe it was Dom first that went out. It doesn't matter. Anyways,
Eider.
It was Eider. Alright, fair enough. Either way, with the party, with both of them visiting with Zebril and Utham and learning a few things, Eider would be given a bit of a new perspective himself, and, well, Dom would find themselves at one of the most climactic moments of their story as of yet, being disowned by their adoptive father after choosing to break one of the spoken rules between the two of them. But as Dom found themselves questioning a few things, wondering truly if they should stay with the party, Kez still thinking on whether or not it was best to run off, and poor Eider being left with trying to lasso both of the individuals back together and keeping Ned from crapping on any more floors. The party would find themselves slowly outside amongst the garden of Zebril's manor/castle. Eider and Kez and Ned kind of in the forward of the garden, sitting on a bench and relaxing while Zebril talked to them. Dom on the other side of a rather tall bush that somehow managed to hide him from view, as Zebril would go on explaining an old tale, or maybe a future tale. Truly, it was too hard to tell, but either way, the moral of the story being that the party were truly heroes even to Zebril, and that they were doing he was proud of them for doing everything that they could just to make it as far as they had. Party having a moment of kindness, a moment of reflection, and a little bit of talk found themselves fading to black not shortly after that as we ended session, leaving the party with their own time to contemplate what they wanted to do. As this happened, however, the party we do return now To a few days, or to a little bit later, rather, the next, oh wow, a good bit later, about 6 months later from the party, in the year of 65,006, the month of the first moon, or January, and the morning of the 11th. As we return back, the party, having gathered up their gear, been doing training, doing downtime, relaxing, resting up, and getting all of their gear together, you find yourselves now with a simple letter as you sit around the dining table for a moment in the tavern that you've been staying in. Letter, basically, that as you open and read, states from Scartsmander that you lot have proven to exceed well beyond his beliefs and expectations. And that going forward, he is only going to be leaving you with a map on where to go. You shall be expected to achieve your own mission by yourself now. As we return back, though, as as the three of you are kind of sitting there, Ned, not having come out of the room as Kez had passed by knocking on his door, and hearing poor Ned just suffering inside as it sounded like he had eaten something that did not go over well. You lot sit around the table enjoying your breakfast, Kez enjoying his jelly beans, as Vale continues to kind of walk back and forth serving you lot. Kind of waiting to see what you lot are doing, as she seems to somewhat hover around, but otherwise leaves you three to discuss amongst yourselves.
So, probably time to get the third quest, I think, from Zebral. He hasn't told you any of it yet, has he?
No. I am quite uninformed on whatever we're about to do next, and it's after this one we go deal with the Apex monster. We still got one thing to do before then, right?
Yes.
Not sure.
Hey, we're about to find out, I
Okay.
suppose.
Can Dom look over the map?
Mm-hmm.
Just like see where it's leading us to?
Yeah, as
See
you
if there's
take
anything of note on it.
As you take a look at the map, you can see a drawn-out route that doesn't look to be more than a game trail on a good day. As you kind of grimace at it, Dom, realizing you're going to be smacking trees and bushes out of your way, like always. But as you look at it, it looks to be leading you to the western end of the island and to a large open beach where there's what looks to be some sort of... The best you can describe this drawing as is a suit of armor, kind of painted onto the beach as the seemingly target for you lot. As you look it over.
Oh. It wants us to go to the beach. That's not a good sign. Recalling like what we were told about the beach and the ocean, and all of us agreeing like we're never gonna go to the beach, and now I'm looking at a map to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what they always say, suffering builds character.
I have enough character, I need less.
You know what, I'd be inclined to agree with you.
Something tells me forces beyond our control demand character growth.
I could do with a little less character growth. I think I could do it with being a little bit more two-dimensional.
Something tells me a lot of my backstory was supposed to be the extent of the fuck-up trauma, and that's not the case.
Hey,
There's more to come.
Hey, what's this backstory? We don't need to worry about that. Hey, maybe this is the universe telling us to have a beach day. You know, this is actually an easy quest, and nothing possibly can go wrong during it.
Dom, give me a sense motive on the quest.
This is the hardest one you have yet.
I literally thought you were going to say, do a roll to sense bullshit from Kez.
You don't have to roll for that one. That one's pretty clear.
I don't need to roll for that. Oh my god. Okay. Not a great first roll of the session, but I guess get the low rolls out now. I've got a good at least sense motive bonus. So that is a 17.
17. As you kind of look over the trail, it seems to be the least traveled as you kind of look, and noting there's no notes of villages in anywhere on the western portion of this island. For all it appears, this is almost completely unexplored. It may not be the hardest, but this is definitely going to be the most risky.
Okay. I think Dom would share that, be like, I don't know how dangerous the beach itself will be. But this area seems very unexplored. We might not have to worry about any of the goblins and such, but I can't imagine we're going to have an easy time camping with all the monsters around.
You go kind of look over the map, seeing kind of where Dom, as Dom kind of points to the depiction or the points where it seems almost too plain with the design of the terrain that's drawn out. Given the very variation in terrain that you've seen amongst this island, it just doesn't fit. Good.
Could I use my calligraphy skill to check if there's like invisible ink on this? Like
Yeah.
hidden ink that you like hold up and it reveals itself. Can Dom check for that? Just because it seems
That would
very
be
on the level.
more like Decipher
Plain.
script. I'll take, but yeah.
Well, what's my decipher script bonus?
It's good
Not
for
the
eagles.
highest.
I don't think for
Yeah.
a moment you have that as a skill.
No, I don't. I just wanted to see, if somehow I forgot that I put points into it. I definitely didn't. Here we go. I'm deciphering that script.
Let's see.
10.
10. Thankfully, there are no
Modest
hidden.
roll.
There are no hidden letters or words. It seem like in the design. There's no seemingly hidden meaning to it either that you can find.
Oh, I just realized well, does my eye graft count for just invisible creatures or is it everything?
Just to see invisibility.
Okay.
You do not have true
Darn.
seeing. Also, true seeing wouldn't work if it's just mundanely obfuscated.
Yeah, no. Well, I was thinking more magic, like hidden
Well,
magic.
not all invisible ink is magically invisible.
Correct.
Well,
The vast
yeah.
majority isn't.
I was checking
Yeah.
for normal, and then I was like, wait, maybe it's hidden with magic. But it
Why
wasn't.
would they give us a map that has hidden stuff on it?
Here you go. Here's your shit, man.
Starchmander done got fed up with us, and now he's getting his revenge.
I guess the only thing I'd be worried about taking the game trail would be, it's a game trail. Things are going to be moving across it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be playing a bunch of games, and I
But
won't know
it-
the rules. It'll be
It's
stressful.
going to, that's definitely going to be like the path of least resistance in terms of just flora in our way.
So,
But who knows how much fauna is going to be in our way.
As
Yeah,
Kez
we don't
thinks
really
back
know
to
what
the
to
evil
ask.
man traps.
Yeah, we don't like. It's like unfortunately kind of a moot discussion because we don't have another alternative. Like we can't just forge through just solid underbrush.
sure we can.
Well,
When most of
Well,
it's sentient and
so,
wants to kill
me
us,
and you
no.
can kind of fly.
But that's
Kez
just
would
as
be fucking-
dangerous. Like flying is like we've seen is like just
Mm-hmm.
as dangerous, if not more, because it just makes you a giant target.
You have seen also
Yeah.
flying creatures as well as creatures swinging from branches and such that have just kind of completely ignored you lot being on the ground. Like the blood apes as an example that Kez had seen that just basically went right past you lot.
not everything is out to kill us, or we're just not worth its time.
I mean, we can like do at least some of the walking around with like my sanctuary effect because it's just kind of active until it's not active.
Mhm.
But the things that do get by it are going to be a pain.
Hmm?
Yeah, it sounds like this is potentially also like a minor cartography mission as well. We'll probably like
Mhm.
do some.
I
random
was just
things.
wondering that.
Or is this
Well,
just- it's straight up blank.
Well, I guess before we make any more plans, let's see what the mission is.
As you kind of mentioned that, you look almost immediately upon that. You hear as Vel kind of clears her throat, looking at you three as she stands in front of the table.
Hi, Val.
She
Don't
kind
worry,
of
we haven't shit on the table.
She smiles at you at that and goes, "Oh no, I know. I gave Ned an extra strong shot of these things called prune juice that Zebro made specifically for him in this problem. He won't be coming out of there, I imagine, for at least a few months. But
I'm just looking abject horror, guys.
I
He's gonna shit until he doesn't have anything left.
I didn't come here just to torture you or to let you explain the torture that your friend's going through for insulting our Lord Zebro. Instead, I have come as Kesnanok just insinuated that the Lord Zebro does, in fact, have the quest waiting for you lot. I figured you'd want to enjoy your breakfast and a bit of a moment of discussion before I propped the news upon thee.
Momentous
But
news it must be.
what was that?
I said momentous news it must be.
She smiles, kind of almost like a polite smile. You can tell definitely is not actually legit. And she kind of looks at you and goes, "Yes." And she kind of pulls out a letter, unseals it, and looks at you and begins to read it and goes, "And finally, a creature has washed upon my shores. I ask you all to kill it, bring its core to me, and may you make keep the rest to give you armor that should protect your party from the worst of the blows. Should the worst come to pass, I believe once you have completed this individual task, you should be able to take on any situation on my island. Though be careful, as where this construct has washed upon my shores, the ground is shaky and uneven, standing right above what we believe to be a large chamber. I wish you luck in defeating the monster that lays at hand. Any research notes you find, please do bring back. Love, always, your favorite investor, Lord Zebril."
Oh, he put love in the letter?
He did.
That's, I think Dom kind of is like, oh, didn't realize Zebra liked us like that.
I just give Zebral a mental kiss.
Oh,
God
God.
bless your homies. Now, is a mental kiss a mental image of you guys kissing, or do you mentally go, mwah?
Oh, just like on the forehead.
Nice.
Oh, God damn it. As you do this, so you feel almost a kind response back, as Vel kind of nods to you, looking at and smiling as she kind of holds the letter up and it slowly burns in a black fire, turning to ash almost immediately. She looks at you and goes, "With that, you are to be on your way as soon as you can. Enjoy your stay while you're here," as she smiles and then again turns and heads back to the bar.
Vel, before you go, do we know anything about this construct? Usually, it's
Indeed.
gotta be old.
Yes, Lord Zebril theorized that it is from the Clouded Age, one of the last remaining creatures that was able to fight the demon incursion upon the Triton's lands. Though he is not fully sure that this is correct, as it could be a creature far older, for all that we know. We are leaving that for you lot to find out and at a safe distance.
Is there resources we could read on about dealing with constructs as far as weaknesses go?
I suppose so, if you were a member of the Collective of Pyrus, or served the Swords of Pyrus, I imagine. But Lord Zebril has no books or knowledge that he is capable of sharing with you all from such an age so long ago, as he did not exist during such a time.
Also, I doubt, well, to be completely honest, most constructs are too unique. A lot of the time, if they have a specific weakness other than just the normal bits of being inorganic, it's very specific.
Hoping this one was well known enough to have something written, but not so lucky it seems.
Not unless you have a friend who was a Triton that is old enough. Or, perchance, that you know a demon that is from that age.
I look at Eider, who knows what's his name?
Raider?
Raider.
I don't have a way
love
to
that.
contact Raiders.
Also, and who also has a connection to Grandpa, who's definitely fucking ancient.
I don't fancy my chances of asking Grandpa, but hey.
You want to call him up on speed dial?
Dom wasn't there for the Abaddon one shot. He doesn't know what you guys talked about.
He also has no idea about that head of Inonkis that he was casually putting into a pit fight against poor Kez.
Yeah, I didn't get to witness the shenanigans with Kez. I was very bummed out about that.
Hey, you know what? I had a very fun time in the end.
Well, as a player, not as a character.
Yeah.
Does the Champions of Pyrus actually have a location here in the city?
She looks at you and shakes her head no and goes, Lord Zebril does not believe that the champion, or the collective of Pyrus are individuals that should be trusted outright. Certain information, yes, but certain information should be kept more closely to one's chest when dealing with such individuals. As she looks at you, kind of staring at her blankly, she kind of looks, nods, and goes, "There are none that come within the city."
Weren't one of the news... well, that was months ago, but I think there was a news guy here that was from them, I believe.
Yes, that is correct, but that was at the insistence of Lord Zevril himself. Uninvited individuals or unrequested individuals do not find themselves typically wandering amongst our halls or lands. The island itself, as you found to be very dangerous and untamed, doesn't put many merchants at ease, and scholars are less capable typically in combat than the average merchant. So it leads to a little bit of a disillusion of problems with that, as she kind of looks at you.
Makes sense. Well, outsiders. Well, the
Kez, why are
upside is-
you across the tavern? Just sit with us.
Kez just keeps... You see as Kez is over, like, leaning over the bar, pouring into a drink, as he looks down the hallway, kind of seeing if Ned has come
You can't
out.
even taste it.
Rude!
Anyway, do you think we'll need to get anything, or are we all set to head out? I know we have plenty of rations. And that's directed at the party, by the way.
Oh,
I figured.
Running out of food.
Yeah, we still have like thousands of pounds of snake meat alone.
I mean, my cloak provides 3 meals a day.
If
We've
you
been
even
harvesting
needed it.
all this meat for no reason.
Yes.
I mean, I don't need it.
You could sell it.
The
Oh
upside
yeah.
is- and I kind of shuffle around for a moment, like pop into the fucking forge, and like just bring out like a large mace and like hand it over to Kez. Like, here you go. This is well, I'm pretty sure this is our ticket.
What is this? You said a lot of words, and I didn't understand a single one that you just said.
As Kez looks at you, and you can see his eyes are slightly glossed, and you can see the liquid he's drinking is liquid jelly bean.
I just gotta like
Oh.
slowly like reach out and like try and like pry it away from
Your hand goes close, and he just slowly moves it up, just not even realizing he's doing it, as he just naturally does the reaction.
Yeah?
Natural addiction.
He's like, oh no, well that's bad. Anyway, while we were, you remember the man traps and everything? Well,
Yeah.
you were kind of shitting yourself. Anyway, we found a
No,
mace.
I remember about the man traps.
We found a mace during that first leg, and when I identified it, it was a kind of
Mace of Smiting, +3, made of platinum and gold.
no, it's the other one, the one that just disrupts constructs.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Oh,
Fuck
that's
yeah.
convenient.
yeah.
Wait, which one was this? Let me find it.
Was it the mace or the bastard sword? You gave us like you
I
straight
thought it
gave
was
us
the bastard sword. It was it the medium size +1 weapon with a strange inscription.
This sword was
see.
a large sized weapon.
I have in
Either
my
way.
notes from the man trap loot. It was a medium sized bastard sword.
But we got one of like a construct disruption. What the hell is
Yeah.
the
I was say the bastard sword is an unholy, and it's linked to a god called the Bloody Tower,
Yeah, that one.
which I don't think is
Okay,
the one you
Mace
want to
is probably
hand to
no.
Kez, the cleric, who is fully capable of accidentally getting sworn to a scarier god.
No, he should have the two gods fight over him. Check it out. Custody battle.
Well, I wouldn't want to be attached to the other guy.
No, Bloody Tower doesn't sound like a fun god, does it?
No.
Well,
I like my towers unbloodied, actually.
maybe he just is on his cycle. You don't know.
I know there's a pewter mace.
Your humor knows no bounds.
I'm trying.
Let's say there's a 3+1 heavy
It's been
maces
2
made of
weeks, a lot of
bronze.
practice.
No, that wasn't you, Lud. Yeah, I don't know. I don't recognize what you're talking
Was
about.
it from the Mantrap loot, or
Like-
was it from the like recent loot? Either like the stuff we got fighting the snakes and stuff.
It was from the Mantrap loot. I'll look for it like later on. I don't think we're getting.
I was
all
gonna
the way
say,
to-
there's the
to-
Mace of Smiting up there. Yeah. But that's the only one I know of off the top of my head that I think I've given you guys.
Yeah, I have the Mace of Smiting on my person.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to take a look, real quick, yeah, ping me once you find it. Just if you want to DM it to me and real quick, and I'll take a look. But as you kind
Oh
of
no, it is the Mace of Smiting.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it just destroys his constructs.
Wait, does it? Where'd you get that from?
The Mace of Smiting destroys constructs.
Guy who has weapon doesn't realize what it does.
Debonk Mace, never forget. Yeah, I don't. What? I was gonna say, Mace of. Oh, does Smiting outright give you.
This one's
Oh.
a specific magic item. If you crit,
If you read that though, do you read that it says it has a +5? That's a +5 Mace of Smiting. Mine's
Yeah,
not.
so
Mine's a
it's-
it's
+3.
a
Yeah.
+3 adamantite.
Well, it's a
+5 against
+3 mace, but it's +5 against constructs.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the
And
one I
it's
every
just-
critical hit, no saving
Let me
throw.
double check real quick if this is the one I found, because I don't think
Critical
it
hit dealt to an
is.
outsider deals ×4 damage rather than ×2.
Gotcha.
Because you
Did
said that
not
was from the
realize
Man
how
Trap.
good your mace this was?
Let me find it. When was that?
Because this was the Mantrap loot.
Yep, I see where it is. I just need to find the date for the session real quick.
Honestly, I was under the impression that this was like, like a mace that just gave me smite.
3-2. Alright, so that was March 2nd.
It was session 36. I don't know
No.
when that was.
That's fine, I've
There's
got it.
a weapon enchant from what I recall that is like smiting, but it's very different.
Yeah, let me double check.
Interesting.
Because I have
Yeah,
the loot
it's-
written
'cause-
down usually, so.
Because I know I asked if I could have it, and I thought I took it. And
Yeah,
so I
no,
had
I
it in my
was-
inventory just sitting this whole time.
No, I was very on board because I figured we were probably going to end up having to use it because, well, the effect, it just.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it had the effect, but like when Kez was like, I want the Smiting Mace, it was like, well, duh. You're the Holy Avenger guy. That's your thing.
You gotta
I don't
take
need
it.
weapons. I got my fist.
Give me a second, just to double check.
It's so
Just
funny.
fish for
It's like,
crits
oh
and
yeah,
Kez
that's
wins.
the plot important item you have? The what? Oh, I
It's,
pawned
it's
that away
not
in
plot
my
card
house.
important, don't worry.
So this was the weapon that we needed to fight this battle. It was greatly
Oh,
timed.
I gave it away for more jelly
It's,
beans.
it's coming all together now.
Wait,
That's what
hold
it
up.
just strangled Kez in the middle of session.
Yep, nope, that is it, exactly. Yeah, he's right, because I have, yep, here's my notes. I have the exact thing written down from the SRD. So, yeah, there you go.
Oh hell yeah!
Sick.
You're gonna be our front runner.
Because I have a note written for it, and I remember why this was. Okay, cool, yep. I was like, wait a
Guys,
minute.
hey, when we eventually get there, hope I land a crit. It's very rare for me to land a crit in combat. Most of the times I've landed
play
outside.
and
True.
do all the shit we can so you can just line up the perfect hit.
It's like the other thing that's really weird about this weapon is like it doesn't. So the way it's worded is it technically gives you the ability to crit constructs, which you can't do normally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you can't crit a construct, but it says on critting a construct.
Yeah, that should
So,
worry you as well,
like-
because it was in a man trap. So,
Hey, this weapon specifically is meant to do
Get rid of
a
them.
crit. Yeah, this is the anti-construct mace.
the only thing I'll remind the party of in this situation is a reminder for what those who were in that man trap. One of them was a Triton, as a reminder, and what you were just told about this creature being is a golem from the Tritons themselves. So think about that. Keep that in mind.
At least
Not
it
saying-
could be.
I'm not
Could
saying
like
it won't
be.
do its damage. I'm saying that might give you an implication of why that adventurers were here.
It does sound like a very convenient. Hey, we're hunting a lost relic because, I mean, my understanding of constructs and like your world so far has been like they're hideously rare.
Yes,
Like-
there's 2 currently in the world that are known.
Yeah.
And that's the one you're about to hunt, and then the other one that Utham has.
Yep.
So,
Well, there's a few other ones, but we don't talk about those guys in this
None-
on the cloud page.
None that I've listed yet. But yeah, as you kind of pull, Singh has distracted by raising his glass higher. As you kind of reach into his bag of holding and pull out the Mace of Smiting, kind of hand it to it. Kez just kind of looking at it and just nods almost completely without any more spoken words as he puts it onto his belt loop.
Yep, gonna keep that at the ready.
And then, of course, once you take a step back, then lowering back down his jelly bean beer.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Man, I'm gonna crash so hard as soon as we leave this island.
yes, you will. You're gonna be grumpy for weeks.
Yeah.
Why don't you just take up spicy food?
In the background, Kez doesn't say anything to Eider and Dom, but as Vale continues to work on the fresh batch that he had ordered before he left to make sure he doesn't run out anytime soon.
Recommending spicy food to the guy who's immune to fire. Immune to heat. Period.
Well, that doesn't mean you would be immune to spice.
The concept of heat. What the fuck?
Yeah, heat and spiciness are two different things. You can be hot outside, and it is not the same feeling as you're rubbing spice on you.
Well, it burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, different way. One's painful, the other doesn't.
Yeah. If
Both
you put
of
a
them are
fucking
painful.
habanero in a bag, it's not gonna cook something.
Bro, don't tell a ginger that the sun is painful, alright? I don't want...
It is. I've had my fair share of sunburns.
No, sunburns are, but the burning aspect isn't. So, God damn it. But as Kez kind of takes this out, as you guys as he kind of sets it into his belt loop, you lot kind of are thinking about talk about spicy food as you see Vale suddenly pop out and you can smell the intense spice suddenly as she is excitedly coming out with something towards you lot.
Oh no.
I just point to
Can
Kez.
I roll Set's motive on the dish? Or
No.
a poison craft check?
You can roll a poison craft check if you'd like, but
yeah,
no.
is the thing so spicy it's gonna like melt our face?
As she walks over with this like thick curry-like dish, you see this greenish coloration to it on top of these thick things of rice that are about the size of the jelly beans themselves, but very bulbous and very almost like bread as they separate, kind of breaking apart and showing the bubbly air inside.
Not one for a 10 total.
You're pretty sure Kez,
evil.
if he eats this stuff, is either going to die or he is going to prove he can't taste anything.
Yeah, Dom makes like just a face that I don't know if Kez clocks, but Eider definitely sees Dom making a face, like a great face looking at Kez like, oh, this guy's about to die.
I just like hold like a hand out to Dom and it's like, wait, let her cook.
I mean, she already cooked. It's
Phil.
more let him eat.
As Vale comes over to Kez and smiles at him and goes, "Would you like to try some of the local spice?"
I mean, I guess it won't do any harm.
Oh, it's only put 3 people to death as of yet. It's carried from the rare spice plant of the north. It has to go through the digestive system of 2 blood apes before it can be truly processed. Most of the time killing them, unfortunately, in the process. But those who manage to survive create the most potent of the chile beans that we use to make this spice.
Well, I'm kind of thrown off from it having to go through the intestinal tract.
Oh, no. It usually burns through the intestinal tract, leaving nothing behind.
This world's version of freaking Kopi Luwak.
Ken's looking at that with a little bit of worry as he remembers a dish from back home that was similar and just as terrible.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll give it a shot.
She smiles, handing you a spoonful of it, and kind of waiting to see as you take a bite. Give me a fortitude. Oh, good.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is it fortitude?
Yep. And then also give me a will save for composure.
Gotcha. That'll be a 28.
You do succeed.
Fortitude.
Okay.
And then you said will save?
Yep. Just to see if you keep your composure while eating.
Nat 20 for a 30.
As Kez takes a bite of it, his face is stone cold, like he's not tasting anything. Kez, unfortunately, as you taste it, there's nothing there for you. It burns your throat slightly as you kind of take a drink of your jelly bean beer, but beyond that, there's nothing as you kind of look on at disappointment.
I just looked down a little bit of small, just a tear of sadness, like, no, nothing. Thanks for trying, though.
You see a determined look in Bale's eyes suddenly.
Thanks for trying. I really do appreciate it.
I've got something that Zebril... you know what? I'll have something looked up for you, young man, when you come back.
Try sour next. That one also has like a physiological response, I think.
No. I am very well known for my spiced cuisine. As she looks Kez up and down with a bit of an irritation, almost kind of on her face, and she goes, "I will make you lose your composure, young man."
Because she's gonna melt your face next time you eat her food. I hope you realize. You set the bar high.
Listen, if it gives me a reaction to eating food besides these drug beans, then I'll take it at this point.
Drug beans?
Listen, you don't think I understand what this ambrosia is doing to me? I get it.
I mean, last...
As Kez takes another deep drink.
But it's the only thing that gives me the ability to taste. I miss my sense of taste.
I mean, you have all the other important senses. I feel like you should focus on those a bit more.
This Kez just, I imagine, stares blankly at you over a moment.
That's exactly what's happening.
As he's like
now.
tipping up his beer.
Dom lost a whole ass arm. Okay, he's got ground to talk.
As you three kind of take a moment, Vale kind of gives a slight cough again and goes, "I think it'd be good for you lot to find yourselves on your way, if you wouldn't mind. I have a work to do. I'll test a few recipes on your friend Ned while you're away. Give him something to digest." As you can see an evil look in this woman's eyes, and she turns and heads into the kitchen.
Just straight up evil. Don't even need a sense motive.
No.
Is there a release form that you need me to sign?
She shakes her head as she closes the door and heads into the kitchen.
Well, I guess we're gonna be on our way now.
Yeah.
Do we need any like camping equipment to set up tents or stuff?
Not particularly. I think we've got most everything still.
Ryder kind of picks up the square chamber that is his forge that he just carries like a Pokeball basically at this point with him.
Gotcha. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Just like make sure that this is like hidden. Like have somebody like keep watch while resting.
How many of us can see in the dark?
Let me double check. I think I have dark vision now with...
Dom kind of puts her hands over their eyes real quick to check.
That's not how that works.
Totally is.
I can see my hands.
Listen, every time, for the amount of times I've ever heard players say, "Oh, let me check my dark vision real quick," and I'm sorry, that is now the canon. Every time you say that, that's what happens. You're just putting your hands in front of your eyes, closing up the darkness.
Look, the real answer is just play a dwarf. You never have to worry about if you have dark vision. The answer is obvious.
Unless you're a cursed dwarf.
No, they still have dark vision. Like, a lot of the time they have light blindness if they're cursed, which is a different story.
Okay, I do have dark vision.
As Kez also covers his face for a moment. Realizing his hands are too small, he grabs Dom's and kind of shoves them in front of him real quick and sees the true darkness.
How big are my hands compared to Kez's face?
Kez is medium or large? You're huge.
I'm like...
You're large, barely.
Wait a second. I have a great idea next time I get a blow on a medium NPC.
Oh, no.
I don't find things that are medium. I don't know what...
Not very often, no.
You're finding a lot of large things.
Well, I'll make it happen. I'll find someone.
There you go. But as you as you test your abilities, Kez confirming himself, either not needing to worry as he stares at Dom for a moment.
I do run the cloak. That's what I was trying to remember.
Dom's cloak activates, his eyes glowing slightly for a second as he kind of covers his eyes. As you kind of sit there for a second, no, there's your answer, Kez. As Kez again heads over to the thing, he is chugging these beers left and right with ease.
Alright, let's get out before he gets fucking sauced.
Always good when the medical practitioner's a little bit tipsy for a mission.
Okay, if we manage to die 5 seconds after getting out the gate, then I'm sorry.
You kind of look over at Kaz, kind of eyeing him up for a moment with that, and begin to kind of head out as the three of you go. Kaz kind of downing the beer as quick as he can as he sets the glass, kind of wiping away the head from his face, or from his upper lip, and walking after you lot. The cries of Ned, it's a horrible pain being heard from within. As the three of you though begin to head out to the outside of the city, out through the main road, the town seems to be simply quiet, to be honest, as you walk through. Not eerily so, but there don't seem to be very many people on the roads, and many of the shops seem to be closed as you kind of pass by. Heading up to the gates, two of the guards kind of, as they see you, almost immediately acknowledging you lot as they wave you through, opening the gate doors. Heading up the cave entrance as you pass by two side caves that are slightly open, looking kind of down them for a moment as recognizing the new passages and seeing some of the places you were warned not to go, and the smell of dead trolls still kind of emanating from down one of the caveways. As you lot kind of head up through the cave entrance and out of the mountain itself. Let's get some spot and listen and search checks. One each, not like literally one of each for you, but like each of you can do one of the rolls. Ugh. So who's doing listen, who's doing spot, and who's doing search?
I was just looking at my... I'm pretty sure my listen and spot are the same modifier. Yeah, listen and spot are both +10s for me.
Okay.
My spot and listens are +7.
Okay.
My search is a +0.
Okay.
I'm losing the fucking wisdom-based skill game.
Yeah, so
Eider's the search guy.
So Eider's our search guy?
I mean, makes sense.
Look or you want to hear?
Eider is the most educated as far as like knowledge of monsters and such, so because of his smithing background, so it kind of makes sense he deemed it for a search.
Spot check, my eye does let me see invisible creatures, which is.
Well, then you should definitely
useful.
do that. I'll rock with listen.
All right, well, let's see what we got.
All right, team. Good rolls only.
17.
Okay, it's because Ned's not here tonight. I swear to God. So you got a 10 with a 7. Okay. 24. Nice work, Eider. Hey, holding up even without the wisdom skill. Hey, search with an extra C. It's fine.
There's more to see.
God damn it. That was bad.
Sarcophagus.
Oh no. Alright, Dom, what do you got for your...
I got 20.
20? Alright. As the three of you begin to head through the forest, it's kind of surprisingly light out for most of the time as you kind of begin to skirt alongside the mountain, following all the way around it as the safest route and the easiest to follow, with a rather wide game trail that you can see almost wagon lines coming through here comfortably, allowing Dom to pretty much walk through without any of the trees or branches being really in his way as the three of you walk. As you head through, the first week seems to go almost unbothered as you lot move about. Seemingly a few monsters here and there kind of passing your way, most in the rank of about CR 1 to 2 that seem to catch sight of you quicker than you notice them and kind of keep a safe distance. Though a few predators seem interested here and there, Dom's true sight, or see invisibility rather, gives them a chance to point out a few of the obvious dens that are what Eider will later declare as cave mimics. A rare kind of mimic that disguises as a inviting cave for beasts. That you can thank our great editor for that monster creation concept.
Come into my mouth.
Yeah, basically. As though the three of you continue heading through, though, after about the 8th day of travel, you come across what looks to be a beautiful watery spring that doesn't seem to be anywhere on the map. seeing a large cliffside, this rather open pool of water that's clear and blue and beautiful, honestly, glimmering. The trees through here are quite sparse, but not due to, thankfully, deforestation as you look about. Just seems that the trees, as you notice a couple of what looks to be small squirrels, small-sized squirrels, kind of digging out the nuts of the trees, or in the acorns of the trees, and kind of chewing on them as they run off into the forest. Many of the acorns and seeds seemingly giving a strange red-like sap as they head off. But as you come across this location, finding it kind of strange as at the end of the day, looking about, it's a fresh source of water and a great campsite, and seemingly no monsters seem to be nearby as you kind of check the area. And for reference, bottom left is where you're coming in from, if you're about to ask that, Kaz. 1 gold says the Fae are involved. Alright, let that be on the recording. Kaz has called it, alright?
Yeah, I start looking for fucking mushroom circles.
Alright.
Incredibly picturesque nature reserve type. Oh, fuck.
I'll say
it smells like
no.
it feels Fae, doesn't it,
Yeah.
guys? It kind of feels like Fae are involved.
it's beautiful, warm, kind of sunny day. No rain, no coldness. It's January, and that's kind of strange. Kind of setting you a little bit on the edge. It's balmy, actually, kind of nice and comfortable in every way. As you see, Eider starts like digging through bushes, like looking for mushrooms anywhere, finding like 1 or 2, but thankfully no circles of the things, or any like leaf or plant patterns that seem to make a circle or a gateway like pattern as he looks about, checking the lily pads in the water as he looks at them as well,
I'm
making
looking.
sure.
I'm looking all over for invisible creatures. They're hiding. They're waiting.
I mean,
As-
hopefully with my
No way.
blind sense, I'll be able to see anything coming before it hits us.
With your
It feels-
see invisibility, Dom, you do notice something seems to be behind the waterfall. Though, as you notice, a large shadow seemingly there catches your attention, and neither Kez or Eider seem to have reacted to this seemingly large shadow. From what you can tell, it's shaped too round to really tell what it is at this point. As you look over.
Hey,
There
video game
is-
rules dictate that's where a secret treasure chest is.
That's where the secret boss arena is what I was
Oh.
thinking.
Grandpa's
there is
waiting
a
behind.
Large,
Oh, no.
round shadow behind the waterfall. I don't know if that is something we need to be worried about or if we need to investigate, but I figured I'd point it out because it seems like you two can't see it.
As Dom kind of says, it's just loud enough for you two to hear, kind of keeping their
Yeah.
voice very low. As you see as you both look over at Dom, Dom's kind of like just washing their hands in the water a little bit, like looking like they're doing something.
Just want to keep my hands clean.
Well, does it move or is it just static behind the fall?
As you kind of watch
Uh,
for a moment, Dom, it's not moving from what you can tell.
Doesn't waves appear to be quite still today? And kind of glance around. Does it seem if I like detect anyone over like listening?
As you guys continue looking about, give me search checks, all 3 of you.
Okay. Search.
Plus 0 to
Oh.
search, that's a 5.
Good
I
work.
got a +5 to search. That's
As
20.
Kez's eyes are slightly now glued on the waterfall. He's slowly kind of getting his shield off his back as he doesn't try to make it look obvious, very distracted by like a creature.
Yes,
Kez
I
is
have
Nice.
to wash my shield.
Kez is distracted by his face in the water. He's like, God damn it, this message.
So you kind of
Oh,
First
so hot.
message.
true. But no, Kez, as your eyes are kind of mostly focused over towards the direction, not really wanting to look around as you're trying to keep your eye on whatever this creature could be, grabbing your shield from your back. You're not really focused on what's behind you. You've got 2 teammates to kind of do that for you as you keep your eyes focused forward, getting ready to spring into action at a moment's notice. Dom, what'd you roll for your search?
20.
20. Dom and Eider, as you both look about, looking through the forest, trying to have slowly as you do, it's strange. The forest looks normal in every way, which is what's kind of giving you the creeps. You're not sure why, but there's something that's just, well, normal on an island like this.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, normal in ways of how we see
But
normal,
yes.
or normal for, like, the island?
Normal for your homelands, where like lands are less psionic and creepy and chaotic. This is kind of eerie.
It seems like, it's a trap. It's too normal.
Yeah, like try and like mosey on closer to like let the radius of the sun steer like interact with it, see if like it can trip it as like an illusion. I think I like motion to Dom to like tap like the ropes. Potentially.
Let me double check something real quick if this is illusion, because I'm. Oh no, it wouldn't, because there's no illusion for this school. Never mind. As your thing interacts, you do feel a pulse of magic seemingly go about for a moment, Einar. Not without. You can give me a spellcraft check to see if you can recognize what the spell is by the strange magic. But as you step to the edge, the magic does seem to interact, but does not seem to cancel out. 34. You do not know what the spell is outright, but you recognize this as around about a 5th or 6th level power of psionic abilities, something Zebril has talked about more in passing as theoretical. What you can tell from this looks to be a difficult illusionary magic of sorts, used through psionic manipulation of the mind. As you realize, it's not a spell affecting the terrain around you, it's in your head.
Gotcha.
Which also means that if Zebril is looking out of your eye right now, all he would see is a normal jungle all around him, if that's what the terrain was like. As you kind of take a second. Dom, sorry. As you look about, Dom, you do notice something that catches your attention. The ground does start to shift, and it's strange. A moment ago, there wasn't a few rocks in the corner of the waterfall that have now begun to push up. And as you kind of notice it, they start to form almost a circular pattern slightly. Not like a gateway, but more like a ruined tower of sorts as it kind of catches. And it's only just sticking out enough out that it kind of seems to peek out of the mud underneath this green grass.
There is a circle of rocks here. That cannot be a good sign.
But we're already inside of it.
Your robes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can Fey circles be rocks? Would Dom know?
You can,
like,
if you have knowledge planes, you can roll that. Otherwise, you can give me a knowledge religion.
I'll do knowledge religion. I don't have any plane specific stuff.
Okay.
That was out of the tray. Get back in there. No, stop. Escaping.
Roll better.
Damn, I should have taken the cocked roll. 9.
9. To your knowledge, there aren't many leftover sites that had ever been described as having stone for a circle. Religiously, a lot of those who view the Fae as like almost like demigods or gods themselves depict almost all of their circles always being summoned through like rare plants that form a circle. Never describing it as stone due to the inorganicness of that stone is.
Yeah, I mean, either if you think now's the time for it, I was gonna try to save it for the beach in case of shit popping off.
We have weeks to travel between.
Oh, it's actually. Oh. And I didn't catch that part.
I will, to mention to Dom's own perspective, you guys have been traveling for some of these quests that are up to 6 months, almost to a year in some cases. So
right, and that's how we spent so much time on the island. Okay, yeah, I'll activate the true scene on my robe, and I'll look at the shadow, but I'll also like do a sweep to look at all the rocks and stuff.
Okay. As you activate your true sight, the terrain begins to shift. And as it does, you see what is reality, or seems to be reality. As you look about and find yourself standing in a strange-looking ruinous castle. And as you kind of look at this, looking over at Kez as you do, you see suddenly something looks wrong in Kez's eyes. Kez, give me a will save.
Oh no.
Hey, I'm supposed to be good at these, so you don't have to worry too much.
It's true.
You say that, and yet...
You know one.
Yeah, watch.
Nope.
Well, thank you for putting that out there, Lev, because I rolled a nat 1 for an 11.
Kez, well, this actually is good in a sense for you. You begin to see the same ruins that Dom is seeing, but you immediately recognize these ruins as your mother's hometown. This is the castle that sat at the foot of the town.
As in, like, my birth mother's.
Yes, your birth mother, the storm giant. You know, the one that was born in the clouds. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you look at this and are very kind of confused looking about the train, seeing this. You weren't born in the castle yourself. Again, you were a man of the not commoners, but the warrior caste in a sense of the folk. You weren't, but you do remember coming through this castle a lot as a young man and traveling through here. And as you begin to have flashbacks to the memories of some of the young nobles that would treat you horribly, comments about sacrificing you, doing terrible things, treating you like a slave, it was, every bit of it was horrible as it starts to come back to you.
Why is this here? And it looks like, does it look like old, like it's been here for a long time?
Yes, like almost 700 plus years as you kind of see this. Dom and as Kez, as you're kind of looking over and looking about this, you can even start to see some of these sigil marks on there that seem to be faded slightly, but you recognize the storm giant cloud stone that they used as you kind of move it about, and it seems to almost immediately turn to water as you poke it with a stick.
So I'll describe, since you two can't see it. We're in the middle of some strange ruins. Definitely giant. I'm going to guess storm. I don't know what other giants would have material like this.
This was my home, at least. Well, a part of it.
You can see it?
Yeah.
That
This is
can't be a good thing. As Dom kind of looks at you with his glowing true sight eyes, and the fact that you're just seeing this is immediately like, oh, this is a targeted thing, huh? Can I actually make some kind of roll to see if like with my true sight activated, look at Kez and see if there is any like malicious figure like attached to him, or like some kind of spell on him?
Yeah, give me a search check.
Like, seeing things as they are. Like Jakix or some shit here, like fucking with his mind.
Yeah. Either while Dom kind of looks over and Kez is kind of like trying to find the words as he looks to almost be for once actually left completely a blank there for a moment. What are you doing? As you see still only this giant beautiful waterfall.
I'm trying to get my bearings on the effect that this can be. Because it's not dissimilar from the illusionary effect that we had in the town where we found the Deathsmith.
Correct.
Because like that one was like an illusion so like bizarre that it like was actually a physical illusion.
Yes.
And this one, to at least a certain extent, because like I don't imagine like there's a world where you can like disguise the topography of a ruined like town as just a grassy field.
Mm-hmm.
So like rooting around, like trying to like get like the senses, like I don't like find myself like tripping over nothing.
Got you. Okay. As you kind of like look about for a moment, trying to get a understanding, as Dom kind of mentions a few of the things, and you can see Kez's eyes kind of locking in certain locations. As you go over to move over, you do find there are seemingly objects where the trees seem to be depicted upon around the waterfall. All seem to be exactly where they seem to be looking at structures, as you kind of get the idea of Kez kind of is glancing about, looking, trying to grasp the whole structure.
Okay. So it's not like, it's not as grand of, it's not a physical illusion.
No, yes, you kind of feel a little more disappointed in how the spell works, as you kind of get a slight grasp on it.
Well, I'm also a lot more fucking relieved, because, well, physical illusions shouldn't even be possible.
No, you can. This is fully you realize this is something that is going on in your mind as you kind of look about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just kind of like focus on trying to disbelieve it.
Okay. You can give me a will save then, real quick.
I would love to.
And then, Dom, what was the result of your search check?
Oh, I didn't catch it that you asked me to roll search, so I was
Yes.
waiting to hear what the roll was.
No, you're good.
That is an 11.
You, as you look over at Kez, you do see his mind. There's something about him that looks a little off. His body looks to be strange as you kind of stare at him, and as you start to look, Kez is getting younger before your very eyes.
Oh.
Seemingly, but Kez isn't changing shape. He's just going from, as you see, it goes from his twinkish appearance to suddenly he becomes very big and looking like this aggressive-looking soldier, sailor type who's seen the better part of his years under the sun with salted air coming at him. A lot of forge marks upon his body. He looks built and muscular and manly, and then he seems to get younger and younger, but he's not getting smaller as he kind of stands there looking about. Eider, as you try to save, you look about and start to see the ruins as you come to grasp with what the spell is, seeing the ruins around, and begin to recognize not the city itself, but the kind of design of a storm giant structure from the books that you've read about them.
And then, so it look like, because we had the other civilization on the other side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look to be about as old, given my dwarven knowledge of stonecraft?
Give me an appraise check, because I think that's the one that gives you the stone cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Kez looks about, and you see as he walks over and kind of rests his hand on one of the stone pillars for a moment, recognizing a mark, and sees his own height kind of chipped into there with his nickname written onto it next to it. A bunch of the other children as well that are listed there. Kez, as you recognize a few of your friends and less than friends.
Mm-hmm.
Eider, with 28, as you look at the stone, you'd roughly guesstimate this stone is about 9, maybe 1,000 years old, roughly, and has been here for roughly about 700 to 800 years, from what you can guesstimate.
It's interesting, because like this level of degradation shouldn't even be remotely close for only like 800 years.
Mm-hmm. And this doesn't look to be nearly as old as the other structure that you had seen.
Yeah, like this is 100% been moved here.
As Eider kind of walks over to Kez, kind of mentioning this, looking at the markings as well.
Well, last time I saw this was up in the sky. It's been a long time since I've walked amongst the clouds, about 7 centuries.
That's about how long it's been here, roughly.
Kez, do you feel different right now?
Not particularly. Just bringing back a lot of memories.
I can see what you looked like before. I don't know if that has to do with the true sight or with something else.
As you see, kind of give a real, as Kez kind of fully turns, and he looks like a storm giant through and through, Dom. This is not the Kez you remember. Like, there's no fire skin, there's no fieriness to him. Like, he is storm giant coloration, his skin being a bit more pale, his hair being a lot more more bluish in coloration. He does not look anything like a fire giant.
Were you cursed to be part fire giant?
No, since I'm a half-breed, as you know, my mother is a storm giant, my father was a fire giant. When I was born, yes, it looked as if I was a storm giant, but as I got older, the fire giant features became more prominent. Before that fully happened, well, as it was happening, my mother sent me down to my father.
As Kez says that, you see as the terrain begins to slightly shift, and Kez, as you look over, you see your mother, Kez, running.
What? No. It can't be.
As the rest of you kind of look over, Kez kind of taking a moment, staring at this, you all see similarly, suddenly a beautiful, large, strong, prominent storm giant woman in what looks to be common raiders gear, leather straps, an iron plate across her chest, a beautiful weapon on her back that seems to glimmer both from its craftsmanship and its the blood covering it. As she is running through what looks to be a strange mist, as she begins to sprint, almost fear on her eyes as she looks back, yelling for Kez, yelling out for him. As you hear the storm giants behind her as they come out of the mist and come into your sight lines, screaming at her, calling her a traitor, and calling for the death of Kesnanok the half-breed as they disappear into the mist again.
This is all too much.
Am I also seeing this?
You all three are seeing this, yeah?
Oh.
I'm trying not to pay attention to the spectacle it's wanting to show us, because like I'm trying to figure out what creature's doing this.
Yeah, give me a search check, see if we notice anything. Go ahead, get.
Yeah, I was about to say the rough location where that figure behind the waterfall is.
Yeah.
What shows in that spot, if anything?
Roughly, it's back towards the castle itself. From what you can tell, would be roughly the same distance. Where you're seeing this misty depiction seems to be where that little circle is at the start of the pathway up to the castle.
Yeah. We either need to find a way to keep moving, or we need to figure out what's behind all this. I don't think it's for some reason it's fucking with your mind specifically, Kaz, but it's definitely toying with us.
I mean, if this is all real, which I assume it might be, if you're out of it, I guess I still am. But if this is all real, this was my home for 36 years.
John,
The first 36 of my life.
you are seeing this, the person running by and everything like that, right?
Yes.
I'm giving it like 70-30 that we're asleep.
If it had a way to manipulate our dreams, the activating True Sight wouldn't do anything other than convince my brain that it had worked.
Kez
Is there a way to wake ourselves up?
30, okay. Real quick, first off, before I get to Kez on this, for the search and the knowledge nature, as you kind of take a second, Eider, as Kez kind of is fully trying to grasp the situation, there's a lot of emotions going through, I imagine, your head right now, Kesnanok. As you're kind of looking upon this, as you kind of check out over there, Eider, you're not familiar with any creature that's capable, that should be existing in this modern era, that would be able to do something of this level of complexity. This is Dreamscape plus something far more than normal magic casting. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind immediately that is well documented are dream larvae that do this. But if that was the case, you'd already be long dead. And Zebril probably would have warned you that there was a creature such as that level on his island. As the second thing, the only other thing that comes to mind is a supposed creature that you once read about, though you don't see any signs of, and nothing kind of seems to indicate. But there was a shadow monster once listed called Darkness. Very little was known or documented about it, but supposedly adventurers who ran into it found themselves in a deep trance, unable to awaken from it, even those who were unable to be put asleep by magical means. The creature used strange powers and made you relive some of your most horrid memories, placating on your imagination of what happened and the truth through other creatures it's absorbed the memories of. There's no design of the creature, what it looked like. There's not really much more than that, other than that's the simplest kind of explanation.
Yeah, I honestly, me as a player, my concurrent theory is like it's kind of a smash of both. Not like because like Dream Larva set up like a specific place that they like have Lord of Domain of. It doesn't seem to be a Dream Larva, but it seems to mimic that bit where it just kind of sets up a place and the place is the trap.
A lesser dream larvae or a creature that mimics it wouldn't be a far off reach as you kind of think about it, yeah. I mean, you saw cave mimics, I mean, here, so this might be a special kind of mimic for all you know as well.
Yeah, a mental mimic would be something fucking far out. It's like they got
You
the
see-
mind goblins, and now they got the mind mimics.
You see, there's a moment of concern, and I think that says this out loud.
Yeah.
As
Now that you've said it out loud, it feels potentially likely.
Oh god damn it! I've given more fucking paranoia fuel to Dom. They're never gonna trust the food that they're putting in their own mouths anymore. Shit.
I need to sense motive the ground.
But as you kind of think about this, Eider, Kez, what are you doing as you watch this kind of happen?
Honestly, like, as of right now, Kez is kind of just walking throughout this like courtyard area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, still trying to grasp if this is even real or not.
Okay.
You know, because obviously, you know, we were in a place that probably wasn't real, but
Mhm.
now we're in this place. Everyone sees it.
Yeah.
You know, could this really have happened to the clan of Herja? Is this what happened to
As you
the
kinda...
city?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, it's kind of just like really, it's like, what has happened in those last 700 years for this to happen? If this did happen, like, I've never heard much of my clan after leaving. No, like, big news. I mean, there was the one guy I met, and he was a pirate.
Yep. Give me a survival check real quick as you kind of start checking the rocks and looking about to see how real this kind of is for a moment.
Because it's you know, it's everything seems like so realistic, but it's like I'm still in a bit of disbelief, especially, you know, it's like it's all so real.
Yeah, as you kind of walk up feeling the mist kind of hitting you as the scene replays, as she runs right through you, as you see the panic on her face. Seeing the storm giants, you recognize some of them looking like the bullies of your youth, those who were willing to come after you for the actual sacrifice that they were looking for.
You said survival?
Correct.
24.
Nice. As you look about the rock and stones and kind of begin to investigate, looking at her and seeing her face as well as the storm giants themselves, you don't remember what happened to your mother after you were sent with your father. There really wasn't much explanation or any really word from what you can recall. Things just, he stopped showing up. Letters, anything. This seems realistic, but your mother was a proud warrior. She wouldn't have ran. Why would she be screaming out for you when she'd know where you were? Something feels slightly off to you as you think about it. While you don't just think that this may be fully wrong, her running and screaming for you seems strange. There seems to almost be a piece that you're missing, but the rest of the ruins, as you kind of go look about, it seems to be real for everything you can tell. The stone is as old as you remember. There are markings. So you go to look at one of the markings you had drawn on the wall that had gotten you in trouble, that had been hidden by a plant afterwards since they couldn't remove it. It's still there, and it's exactly as you remember it, though worn and a bit harder to tell, but it's still the remaining pieces of the chalk itself seem to still show itself on the wall as you kind of touch it, feeling the difference in material. This is as real as it could come.
Yeah,
it's weird that Zebril didn't mention it being here.
Just in such detail.
As you kind of look about still, as you see Kez kind of only staying in the courtyard, only about 20 feet from you and Dom and Eider, as you watch him kind of basically looking on at his mother, kind of in concern, watching her running away continuously as he stands there thinking.
Perhaps
What
if
do you
we
think is-
move forward, we'll find more about the story.
Potentially.
Do we think it's best to continue looking into this or to leave?
Let's try to leave and see if that's possible, and then we'll know.
I think Dom's still kind of worried about the potentially being asleep thing, and is like just trying, like, doing whatever he can, like, in his mind, aware that he probably wouldn't be able to tell, like, am I awake? Am I asleep? Is this real? Is this fake? And my
Guys,
craft here is so Dom's just like
this
in his
is-
mind.
This is your teammate Hunter speaking. I think we're gonna get some pretty sick Keznok lore if we keep going forward. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, we're not. I'm
I
not
know-
trying to like leave. I'm trying to see if we can.
Yeah, if it's,
Or-
it's like, are we
Yeah.
forced here, or are they're looking for options? If you want to,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
try and get. You can give
So
me
if
a
we get-
search check, or you can try and give me a will save.
I'd like to see if there's a way out, so if we move forward and there is a giant ass castle mimic, we can fucking dip.
More importantly, if there's a fucking dream larva.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
more inside
said-
baseball.
Why
Sure,
not?
sure,
Cap-
wisdom save.
Yes, correct. Will save. I mean, Captain Azur's fought Dream Larva and lived. You guys will be fine.
We did not fight it.
We did not fight it.
Totally
Does
did.
this count
Hush.
as School of Enchantment?
This is not the School of Enchantment. No.
And only a 13. for the save.
13.
I will
Um,
pass.
Let's see. As you kind of take a second trying to create some sort of door, trying to think of trying to recognize the spell in a similar way to how enchantment and other sleep spells typically work, illusion spells similarly, trying to focus your mind on reality, nothing seems to come to as you close your eyes, trying to focus, looking about, opening your eyes slightly. There's no door, there's no nothing. Nothing seems to happen.
Perhaps we must continue forward to find a way out.
Is a 27 will let me find a way out?
It does not. You either have the same situation as you kind of open your eyes slightly, looking about, expecting to be in the overworld, mortal plane, expecting to wake up from your nap, anything really. And as you reopen your eyes slightly, Dom is just looking at you.
Oh, I was also just going to like. I mostly was just going to try and like physically leave to also confirm.
Okay. As you kind of start to turn and realizing nothing's kind of working, as you start to walk towards what you think is the barrier and start pushing against it, suddenly as you do, you find yourself suddenly walking back into the area once more as you look about.
Classic.
Yep, we're in here for the long haul.
Alright.
This is a story event. You are not allowed to leave.
That's not true. I mean, hey, if you can figure out a way out, you can. I mean, just goes to if a 27 will save ain't going to get you out of it, there's got to be some trick to it. And that's exactly, I imagine, what's going through Eider's mind right now, seeing he looks around the area.
Yeah, because like this thing is like anchored to a zone. If it's like the dream part, like I still haven't seen anything to disprove that bit. It could also like, be like because like we've like the phantasms that we've been shown have been using mist. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mist in theory can like invalidate true sight if it's just mist. It's just shaped well, effectively. Like there's a world where that can be done because it's just like it's not necessarily an illusion. Like the mist is real. The shape that it's being put into are unnatural.
Yeah, like forming clouds and stuff.
So Eider's going to be dying today. I know it was clever, motherfucker. I had to really dig for that. Alright, fuck you.
Shouldn't have limited.
Alright, Kez, I'm giving you something to kill Eider with. No. Fair enough, fair enough. Hey, good work, good work.
Well then, I suppose we move forward then.
Whatever this is knows about you and your history, Kez, so I would be careful.
Well, whatever it is feeding off of your emotions. Like, no matter how you dice it, I don't know if this is necessarily a dream or if it's just like the mist being manipulated. But regardless, its predation is whatever negative emotional state you're in. I can't begin to think of another explanation other than that at the moment.
I haven't thought about this place in a long time. Not a lot of good memories here. Not a lot of, but there were some. I enjoyed my time with my mother. There were some people up. there that were kind to me. But when my fire giant feature started to show, it definitely took a downturn.
As Kez
But
kind of
let's-
mentions that, you see suddenly the mist suddenly stops showing and dissipates completely.
But I guess we should move forward, see if there's anything more to learn about this place.
Oh.
I'm kind of in between believing this place exists or not. Everything is, the detail is immaculate.
As Kez points over to a plant face he barely remembers, but it's exactly the way he remembers it. As you look kind of pass by, checking, as Kez points out a few areas where treasure might be hidden, as he recalls a few vaults, because Kez isn't, not going to leave that behind if this is real. Sadly,
yeah.
as you look, finding nothing but holes in the walls where it clears, like, almost some sort of chest could have been hidden into. Places where you'd expect tiles to be able to be lifted seem to be completely empty. Unfortunately, as Kez kind of looks around, nothing else seems to happen for a moment as you guys look around. As you finally though make it to the front courtyard, looking up towards the ruined castle that's slightly raised a bit off the ground due to the design of it and how it crashed into the terrain. Kez, you begin to see the courtyard changing and shifting, as well as Eider and Dom as it begins to shift, and you begin to see as Kez disappears into the mist for you, Eider and Dom, though Kez still standing where he is from his own perspective. As he vanishes, his appearance seems to change from this young storm giant man to a slightly mixture between both storm and fire giant, where he looks like he could go for either or be clearly marked as a half-breed, sitting upon a beautiful wagon cart that is going down a trail, a little bit of a portly but, bit large-armed individual sits beside him, a very old-looking fire giant who wears a bit more grizzled wear of a merchant, a bit more soot and cuts here, nips there, as he kind of sits next to the young Kez, who looks still quite gruff in his appearance, very manly in his appearance, if you will. Kez, you begin to remember what this memory is as you recognize this road, as the worst memory you have comes to fruition, as you once again relive the battle. As on the sides of either of the road, suddenly out of the grass, hands of what look to be undead-looking giants begin to grasp out of the mud and pull themselves forward as Kez shouts something and the horse or the wolf that was pulling the cart comes to a stop. As Kez seems to say something, his dad, or what looks to be his dad, stands up, grabbing from the side what looks to be a large hammer made of solid gold, beginning to swing it about as it shoots a bolt of lightning towards one of the stone giant undead, as Kez jumps down, mace and shield in hand, going after another on the other side of the road. As the battle goes on for a moment, it looks like the two are going to come out on top as they seem to laugh and joke as they're fighting. Kez, though, as you suddenly see him appear between the two of you, I imagine. Well, actually, Kez, why don't you describe what's the look on your face right now, actually, as you're seeing this?
At me viewing this,
Yeah.
or Kez in this search, like
No.
in the time? Okay.
Yeah, just you viewing it, yeah.
I think. Utter shock. Probably this is the most terrified Kez has ever been in his life at this moment. Seeing it all again. Honestly, it's probably about what I'd sent in chat. Wait! No!
As you'll see Kez kind of starting to shout, his shouts kind of being drowned out by the sounds of the clashing of weapons, as the three of you find yourselves unable to move. The battle continues as two more, what looks to be stone giant corpses, more rotted with their flesh kind of coming off, the clear battle wounds from whatever they were doing, begin to pull themselves out, and you watch as Kez turns to aim at another skeleton that that catches him in his blind side. From behind, all you can hear, all three of you hear, is a loud crunch as Kez's viewpoint is skewed, and he suddenly turns and sees his father drop a large log overhead and what looks to be a splattering of blood across the log. As the body drops, Kez seems to immediately smack his mace into the skeleton he was fighting, knocking the head of the skeleton far off to the side, turning and going after the two stone giant skip bodies as he screams in rage, his body beginning to glimmer with a blackened magic all around. As he goes and attacks the two bodies, rendering them almost immediately, his magic begins to pulse and both of the bodies break apart, falling to the ground. As Kez begins to kind of lay down at his father's side, you see, as I imagine Kez himself begins to move towards his dad's side just naturally.
Absolutely.
As you'll not see the dying man looking up at Kez, his eyes kind of glazing over him, trying to say something, and Kez just trying to keep him quiet. As he looks up and then, thinking that the fight is over, thinking for a moment that he has a chance as Kez begins to try and pick his father up and bring him onto the cart, a creature begins to step out of the mist. It looks to be a forested edge, and what looks to be a horrifying lich stands out in front. As it smiles at Kez, it looks to be just a normal skeleton with a few gems encrusted upon it, a purple cloak, a staff with a few bones, what you'd expect of a book lich as you see this Eider and Dom. It's almost as if a child had drawn what you'd imagine a lich to be, as Kez looks on in horror and sees as the creature waves its staff, laughing and cackling evilly, as Kez's body began to change and weaken as he tried desperately to pull his father onto the wagon fully. Screaming at the creature, he seemed to charge the lich, but as it seems to cackle once more time, it vanishes as Kez looks on with anger, quickly turning back and running to the wagon as fast as he could to take off, as the scene vanishes into mist once more.
Guys, you fought a lich?
I think Kez
Tried
just...
to. Tried.
I mean, you didn't die. That's a fuckload better than normal.
It wasn't enough. It was never enough.
You couldn't beat a lich now, right? I don't think. You're being way too hard on yourself.
As you kind of mentioned that, you can see Kez has a lot of emotion on his face as the image or the illusion once more seems to replay, or sorry, the mist seems to replay the thing once more as Kez looks down and trying to stay near his father during the whole thing.
I've forgotten what he looked like after all this time.
So is that how you found the Church of El Agbo? And your hatred of undead?
After this moment, yes. Although I didn't go there immediately, it was, well, roughly around the time when I'd bury him, you know, a cleric came by and delivered the rites. And, well, what better place to spend the rest of my days than with those who fight against undead. At least that's what I thought. It's supposedly where my journey of all this began. In this body.
But wasn't your body, I mean, more or less a curse from your gunners? When did that happen?
No. No, this was a curse from the Lich. My body was not created by my goddess.
Eider, as you begin to grasp this, that means that whatever lich this creature was more powerful than Ella Ugbo's own blessing to someone who has already been recognized as her champion.
Kez, I think you tripped into an undead god.
Fitting that we're all. Looks like I was an unfortunate son that they went my entire life.
I mean, well, yes, true. But, like, again, revisiting the whole, like, beating yourself up thing. You got cursed by another god. You weren't winning that. It's not your fault.
I never blamed myself
You just said you didn't do
for
it.
what happened. A different thing. Not about this moment. We were supposed to take a different job. This one was more lucrative. But my father's as thick-headed as I am. So I wasn't able to convince him to take the other job. Such is the result.
As Kez looks down at at his father's corpse once more, as the image plays once again in front of him.
Can
Yes.
I roll a religion or some other check to see if I recognize what deity that lich might have been?
Sure. Give me a knowledge religion.
Because Dom's, like, processing what he just saw and is very much of the assumption that lich intentionally cursed Kez and then left him alive. And Dom's trying to figure out if there was a reason or if it was just, like, a deity that, like, is just there to cause suffering. Or, like, what was the reason of leaving Kez alive, and is that motherfucker gonna come back?
Okay. Yeah. Let's see what you got. If you recognize what this is.
Oh my god, I'm rolling so bad, guys. 3.
3?
Solid.
Yeah, no idea. This could be any kind of undead. Hell, this could have been.
I'm sensing this lich was undead.
The only thing you're 100% sure on is that this lich isn't from any time period within the last couple thousand years. Someone of this power would be well known long before they died.
Or is it from the future?
And suddenly Dom's mind is blown.
I mean, Dom caught a little bit of what the shit going on with Zilpip, so like, it could come to his mind that that's the case. But no, I got a 3, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Dom's not thinking of much.
But as the scene dissipates once more, vanishing, as Kez kind of walks back over to you lot.
Let's move on.
Alright. As Kez begins to kind of turn and walk towards the stairs, kind of following it up. As the three, Eider and Dom, are you following after Kez as he starts to head up towards the stairs and up into the keep
yeah.
itself? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm basically glued to his side because I'm like very much like of the mind that this thing is like potentially going to try and snatch him.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else has on this island at this point.
Dom is definitely keeping a little bit back from Kez, both to give him space and to give space if someone tries to jump him, but
Okay.
Dom's not gonna like leave the group, and there's no way to leave, so I'm just fists up, kind of waiting for something to jump at us.
Ready to go. Okay. Alright. As you kind of continue heading up the side or up the stairs and into the keep, the open keep, looking up, remembering the huge castle walls, the gorgeous windows, Kez, that used to dawn this place. It was a great place to hang out, enjoy when lessons were given to the locals from the priests. This would be commonly where you'd find yourself taking classes, as the local lord didn't really seem to have an interest much in ruling from his own castle. It was always a very kind, still school situation, but fun and enjoyable memory as you look on. Looking about, seeing the broken stone pillar in the center where a large where water used to come down through, and provide sustenance to the children as well as the pets that would run around the castle. Cloud tigers, leopards, other creatures of sorts. You kind of almost gladiator running your hand to the wheat moment, kind of looking about. The mist returns in the center of the castle keep. And you see as it cuts to something, Kez, you've never seen before. This is a scene that looks to be a tavern. Eider and Dom, as you kind of notice this, the entirety of the keep goes dark all around you, and you find yourselves now standing, almost as if you're in this memory. As you can smell the ale in the room, the staleness, you can hear the other giant customers whispering and a few comments here and there. But as you begin to walk, almost as if you're being pushed, you find yourself following a hooded figure to a back room. As the doors close, you find yourselves walking through without any issue or interference, as the door seems to completely just dissipate around you as you walk through it. A few moments of sitting there looking at the hooded figure whose face stays obscured, until someone opens the door and out walks a figure none of you have ever seen before. A strange-looking, skinny individual who stands about 6 foot in height, bright blue eyes that seem to glimmer like a death ore itself, lyrium, if you will. He looks a little more gaunt as far as his physicality overall, and seems to have, as you see his hands, the marking, or the chains of what looks to be a slave, though his flesh seems unmarked and the rest of his body seems covered by purple silken robes with a couple of pieces of golden gems that seem to always come in pairs that kind of are dotted across his cloak. STG if it's Lich from what? Oh, wait, what's STG?
Swear to God.
Swear to God.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not caught up on the kids slang these days. I'm getting old here. As you look on at this figure, he kind of finds himself taking a seat across from the person as she reveals herself to be Kez's mother, her taking her hood down and drinking from a cup of what looks to be this darkened ale. The figure doesn't say anything and stays quiet as he sits down across from her, not taking a drink, not saying anything, just looking on at her. She clears her throat and begins to speak. "Oh, wandering mirror, Garen wants my son. I cannot give him up, not to be sacrificed like some common slave. He has a brighter future than anything that we have ever seen, something that could change our family's beliefs. You have to do something. You owe me for keeping your secret and getting you away from those slavers. You owe me everything for that." She kind of stares at him for a moment, a serious look over the glass of ale. The other figure kind of nods, quietly and slowly as he does so, and says only simply, "What will you offer in exchange?" As he says it almost eerily. And Eider, Dom, though Kez is very into the memory and seems to be very focused, almost as if his mind is being forced to focus on this, the voice sounds slightly familiar to both of you. Go ahead and give me a knowledge history check.
Oh, I knew this guy was gonna be someone we knew. I keep rolling so close to 20, but getting every die number adjacent.
Not fair.
So that's a 15.
15. Eider and Dom, it would be hard for you to forget a voice such as this, though it's not exactly his. Dom, to you, it's almost perfect, though Eider, you do recognize this person sounds slightly younger. This sounds like Kaijin. As the individual says this, though, Kez's mother kind of not smiles, setting the ale down, and looks up at him, and begins to speak. She goes, "I will agree to whatever contracted terms guarantees his life fully, regardless of the requirements. Understand me, Lich. I do not care what happens to me or my family. Kesnanok will live. As the creature sitting across that she seemed to imply as a lich seems to kind of nod, a greedy smile beginning to pierce each side of his cheeks as it goes almost to his ears. The sharpened, blackened teeth showing fully as he kind of gives a full nod, and a strange contract appears in front of him as she signs it with her blood. As she does, the creature changes its form, suddenly appearing for a moment like the lich that had killed Kez's father, and then smiles as it taps Kez's mother on the hand, and she becomes the lich. As she does, she seems to nod in understanding, seemingly gleaming over the blue sapphire eyes made of solid gemstone. The lich stands, turns, and then begins to cast a darkened magic that seems to envelop the entirety of the bar, blackening the magic around. And as the corruption of the area begins to come forth, screams are heard, of horror and agony coming from the tavern itself. As you peer through, looking all three of you, and you see as giants are falling over, their bodies falling in on themselves, almost as if their health and their constitution is being sucked from them, as they become nothing but skin and bones, gaunt corpses, as the lich laughs maniacally, giving that horrendous cackling that you had heard earlier. The mist suddenly then shifts to Kez standing or protecting his father, grasping at the large man, crying over him as he looks down at the corpse beneath him. A hole sat beside him. Two figures standing at what looks to be an empty gravesite, other than Kez. As Kez looks down at the body, standing up from it, saying a few words. A priest covering their face entirely, but almost immediately as Dom and Ida recognize the same lady that was depicted as the champion of El Ugbo prior to Kez getting it, the one that you had seen try to attack you a lot. Almost recognizing her immediate features underneath the cloaked robes of the priesthood that she held, as she gives a right, and another figure standing to the side, about 6 foot in height, beautiful blue eyes, and a shrouded face that seems to be slightly pale, kind of standing off to the side, unnoticed by Kez and the priestess. As Kez slowly buries him, his father, and follows the priestess off. As the mist disappears and vanishes, Kez kind of looks up, or Kez, for a moment you feel as the magic seems to dissipate, and you suddenly realize what truly happened.
No. No. So that's what happened.
Potentially. I don't know how much of this is true.
I hope it isn't.
The last time we ran into a very powerful figure with the ability to manipulate our minds and make things appear real, he was quite a powerful demon, and he clearly had something out for us.
Well, it should
I'm
be
not
the same
saying
demon.
this. Yeah, exactly. This could be real. This could be a twisted recollection of real events. Parts of this might be true, but I think you should be wary of what you're being shown. They seem to make it a point, this family, to get under your skin, Kez.
Well, remember from what we've... Most of the time, we haven't been interacting with real Morgans.
Well, the Morin impersonators sure seem to have it out for him, too.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this guy is a different story. I say this guy because I legally traded my ability to say his name away because I don't remember it at the moment. This is a
Kaijin?
reminder to the audience. Yeah, remember I
Yes.
traded that I can't remember his name and he can't remember mine.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So I don't know. I know this guy's name. I don't know this guy's name though.
Yep, you call his face.
It's on the tip of your tongue, but it's just not there.
Mm-hmm.
What? We should come up with a nickname, a code word for this guy.
Hey, Kez, give me an intelligence check, please.
Oh, Grant, I'm so good at those. I have a +0.
Don't worry. This is a good thing. Maybe.
Ah, solid.
Probably not.
Maybe.
Okay, let's see.
That will be a 18.
18. As your mind begins to slightly clear, the mist vanishing catches your attention, Kez, as you feel something calling to you. You hear the words in your head go, "Would you like to slay those who took all from you? I can offer something such as this," as it says this in a strange tongue that you've never heard before, but for some reason you can understand, Kez.
Who are you?
I am no one now, but a soul who wishes to be avenged like yourself. But I will call myself the Genevim Mekorum. I believe you would understand them in common as the Mudslod.
Throwback to Monday.
Eider had to mute there. He doesn't want to say anything because he knows what's going. He knows what this might be.
How do you even spell that?
Oh, here I can. Yeah, here I'll post that. Don't
For
worry.
my notes, because I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, I got you. There you go.
Thank you. Oh boy, that's a terrifying name.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to decline.
Are you so sure and confident that you could not use a friend? I've been a friend to many a demons, angels, all who wished their assistance to slay those of the unjust. We could be friends. I can take shapes that will benefit you in every way.
All I need are my companions and my God.
Yes, but a friend never hurts. One who's slain demons can be quite valuable to such a individual such as yourself when fighting wandering mirrors. That'd be a good test of skill, not gonna lie, don't. Prove it. Kill this fucking thing. Opens bag.
Slay this.
Sorry, good. Okay, so I apologize for breaking a serious moment.
Yeah, no worries. Actually, I essentially have a little crystal that kind of has,
You do?
the memories of my mentor or whatever to
Mhm.
give me counsel if I need. Can I ask him what he thinks of the situation?
Hey, bro, this is us.
I need some spiritual guidance before I decide.
Alright, give me a
What do you mean,
moment.
Eider's right there.
Ah, yes. As you see, as you kind of pull out the crystal out of your pocket, and holding it out, you see the crystal take its shape and the old man kind of appear from it and look up at you and go, "You little bastard, you kept me in your pocket for years! In the house, much lint I've been eating down there. It is horrible. You smell horrible, by the way. You need to bathe more on an average. I promise you. Also, if you're thinking you can trust something that's that ancient and old, what are you, a fool? Everything's tried to kill you that was older than you."
Thank you, Master. That's all I needed.
Of
Make
course,
sure,
pupil.
I'll clean myself more often.
Just wash your pockets, for the love of God. There's still some jelly beans down at the bottom there, just sticking to my ass every time you put me down there.
Yes, sir.
Good. You've done well. Stop doubting yourself. As you
Yes,
shove
sir.
it back in your pocket.
Yeah, yes, sir. Upon further counsel, I must insist I deny your request.
You hear the voice in your head kind of go, "Well, I tried to save you from your fates. Good luck. Don't cry to me when your soul is not yours anymore." As the voice you feel kind of dissipates from your head. Dom, give me a will save.
Oh no. I had a fear it was gonna jump to me next. I'm not even shitting you. Does this count as School of Enchantment?
No.
Motherfucker.
This is an item trying to do an ego check on you.
No. It's almost the nat 20, but I'm missing the 0. 13.
You feel something slip onto your finger for a moment and wrap around it as a voice connects into your head as Kez kind of seems to be standing there for a moment talking to his crystal. And you hear suddenly as the voice begins to speak in a strange tongue that you don't recognize as it goes, "Oh, you're fucked, never mind." And you...
Wait a second. Say that to my face.
You feel immediately as the thing pulls off your finger.
Can I try to, like, when it pulls off, trap it in my, like, my
Yeah.
bag of...
Give me
bag of preservation, actually.
Yeah, we'll call it a grapple check.
Yeah.
Do you have? I assume you have improved grapple.
Me, motherfucker. If I'm fucked up, you're going down. You're not gonna get to. Well, I don't think Eider could even fail the check. But Dom's like, "Oh, you don't want me? Well, guess what? I want you in my bag."
All right. Do you have improved grapple out of curiosity?
Let me actually double check. I can't remember if that was the one I got or if it was a different feat from the downtime. I got improved disarm, not improved grapple.
Okay. So then, yeah, well, the ring doesn't get an attack of opportunity, thankfully. So it's just a grapple check.
But to say the base attack bonus of a ring is 0, I'm pretty
Yep.
sure.
So you'll.
My strength check plus my size modifier, right?
Yep. Because you don't have to make an attack on this one, since it's already around you.
Well, that's 22.
As you grab hold of the ring as it begins to unfold itself away off your finger and turns into a single strand of metal, grabbing hold quickly as you feel it begin to jerk away towards Eider. You taking hold, shoving it into your bag. It immediately goes within. And which bag are you throwing this into?
I decided my bag of preservation because all that's in there is body parts, so there's no other magical items it can fuck with.
That's
You're
fantastic.
going in the freezer, buddy.
So, Dom, the next time you open up your bag of preservation, you will have to make a d20 check to see if you pull out a meat zombie or if you pull out meat.
Okay. Let me note that down somewhere.
Yep.
I'll just get a new one. We don't need it that bad. It's just man trap parts
I just kind of
and all the snake meat.
imagine I've been out of it, didn't notice the entire kerfuffle,
Nope.
look over, what the fuck happened?
I got the thing that was trying to, I presume at least, was trying to fuck Kez over. It entered my voice, immediately insulted me, and then tried to leave, so I grabbed it, and now it's in the bag.
Yes? The fuck
I
happened?
felt like this... I don't know. It literally entered my brain, said, "Oh, you're fucked. I'm leaving," and I said, "Well, nice try," and I grabbed it. And Dom holds up the bag of preservation.
And you hold it up, Zyder kind of looks over at Kez. Kez, emotionally, how you doing, buddy?
Ah!
So yeah, there he does not look good either.
I like kind of frown. I like sigh. But I was like, take that thing out. It's the only thing that's tried to communicate with us. So like, it might be our key to getting the fuck out of this thing.
I mean, anything that tries to put itself on your finger and enter the mind probably isn't a good thing. Kez?
If it tries to
Oh.
with me, it'll have a bit of a bad situation. It can't really ego check me.
Okay, if you want to pull whatever this creature is that I forced into the bag of preservation out of the preservation, you reach your hand in. I already lost an arm once. I'm not going to chance it.
Dom holds out the bag to you.
I hold it down to him. I hunch down,
Hey,
I hold
do you
down.
want me
yeah,
to,
you-
You want me to try to consecrate the bag?
I
As
mean,
Kez is like wipes away his tears, and like you can see there's anger in his face, slightly looking at the bag, and there like he's about ready to let some rage out on this thing.
if it won't do anything to make the bag not magical, go for it.
Well, to be fair, we don't know that it's necessarily going to be able to reanimate a zombie inside of the bag.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we would probably come to that conclusion.
I think Kez just wanted to like
Hey,
fuck
listen.
with whatever's in there.
Some spooky thing just came into my head, and listen. At least I'm about to rule out if it's something that can be consecrated away.
Fair enough.
As Kez looks at the bag with a little bit of a smile on his face at that mention.
Pulling out my little bag of silver,
Mm-hmm.
my pound of silver that I have.
Yep.
Getting ready.
Taking a
You still
pinch
have
of
like
it.
200 pounds of that shit. You're welcome.
I do. I have so many. I have so much powdered like silver.
Give
Like,
you
oh
so
my
much shit for
God.
being greedy when I fucking grabbed those swords.
Yeah. As you kind of take out your silver and begin the consecration spell, Dom, Eider, and Kez, give me a listen check to see see if you notice anything going on. And then for
Try to waste your
consecrate, let
time.
me look.
I-
Listen, it's still.
Dude, literally every number adjacent to the 20. I've gotten so many 8, 2s, and 14s this session, and only those numbers.
Dirty 20.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
18.
I've rolled above like a 15 this entire session. This is setting
keep-
up for me.
Nice.
To get fucked.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, well, hopefully
Kez?
I won't.
Give me a charisma check when you come back from washing your dishes. With a +3, please. Because this will act for your spell effect. As he took a step away. But as Eider and Dom, as you begin to listen in, you do begin to hear a scream from within the bag. A screech of pain and horror as the magic begins to take hold and Ella Ugbo's symbol begins to glow on the side of the bag. Give me a spellcraft check real quick, Eider, while you look at the bag. See
I
if
would
you
like
notice
to do
anything.
that.
Huh?
I said I would love to do that.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
27.
27. You do see as the bag just does start to change as Kez's concentration begins to go off and glows upon the bag. Changing the symbol slightly, you begin to notice Ella Ugbo's symbol show up behind the bag of preservation symbol. Seemingly, as you recognize, it seems to have given a strange magical effect. Recognizing that the bag of preservation now, anything within it will have a good or have a bonus, or will have to deal with good damage or positive energy damage. Now, there's only a place to living creatures, and that is to include undead in that category of living, air quotes.
Yeah.
It has above 0 hit points.
Right. Just checking, but bags of preservation, typically you can't store something inorganic in it, right?
Nope.
And Dom managed to stuff this ring in.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the whole ass creature.
What the fuck is this ring?
Clearly,
No, it's-
not a ring.
It's a thing. It's not a ring. You wonder, hey, either. I know you were wondering, oh, Dom, why'd you put a ring in the bag of preservation? Because it's not a ring. I'll tell you that much.
I was more
Also,
wondering
it's
how.
screaming.
You said
It's not a ring.
charisma +3.
Yep. +3 to your normal modifier.
Solid. Let's see. 25.
25. And I assume you don't have an altar or shrine like in the back of your pocket by chance, Kez.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I do not have an altar or shrine.
I was gonna say, it might be something you want to get Eider to help you with on your next item, because that will boost your consecrate as a heads up. It gives you a +6.
Well, altars and shrines are pretty static.
True. But
Up in the fucking shop.
that's it.
What, just make a shrine to Ella Ugbo in your freaking workshop. Okay.
As you begin to make the bag glow, kind of saying a prayer to Ella Ugbo, you see as black and corrupted magic seems to spew out of the bag, and you begin to hear these screams of pain coming from within, as Eider and Dom kind of immediately react hearing the words of this creature, as it shouts out in a strange tongue, though as you don't understand Slotty either, Lihu, at least I assume Eider doesn't have Slotty for some reason as a language.
Boy, if I could.
I was about to ask. I was going to say, man, if you do, that'd be a unique one. I can't wait to hear the story reference for
Let me
that.
roll a bullshit check
No.
right now.
As the creature seems to begin to scream in horrible pain, the magic being pulled from it, the screaming seems to go quiet as the spell ends, and as does the evil magic from within, and the creature itself seems to almost begin to smoke out of the bag as you see it kind of poof out 6 things of black smoke before what looks to be a golden worm crawls out of your bag of holding, almost shriveled down to a small wire.
Back into the bag of holding, or the bag of
Wait.
preservation.
You said it's a golden worm, like
Like a-
WORM or
Yes.
YRM?
No, an ORM.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no worm, like a
Yeah,
bug.
I have to make sure.
Yeah,
guys.
fair enough. Especially after your guys' first encounter with an undead worm. That was bad. I get you.
What are we doing with that? As Dom's like watching, did it like fall on the ground, or is it like still attached?
Oh, no, it's
to
on the
bag
edge of the lip of the bag of preservation.
I want to make sure I understand what it is before Dom touches it.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowledge nature then, gentlemen. Or survival check.
Yeah. Let's. I was looking at it, like it just came out. Like it's been consecrated, so I wonder if it's good now, if anything, or if it's
Now
barely
can be our
escaped.
friend.
Well, it looks nearly dead. That you can pretty clearly tell. A 34 nature. All right. And Kez, what about you?
You said survival or knowledge nature, correct?
Yep, that is correct.
All right, I'm probably gonna do survival then because my knowledge is not what I do get best. Natural 20 for a 25.
Nice. All right. As the two of you look at this creature, you have never seen one of these creatures listed before in a book either. This has never been documented before. There's not a species of creature that recognizes similar to it. Best your guess, it's a sentient object, or an object that was given sentience a long time ago, either through some sort of weird-ass magic spell, or some sort of slotty magic, given the strange, or abyssal magic, given the strange language it was speaking. Kez, with the survival, one thing that comes to mind as you kind of look at the creature, looking at the outer shell, the gold seems to be more of a magical component, allowing the creature to openly cast from its skin without needing components like yourself. And recognizing that this creature seems to feed off of some sort of emotion, given that you notice there's no mouth on the beast itself, kind of looking at, you see 2 greenish eyes that seem to open slightly, almost about a quarter of a centimeter wide as they look to glow green, kind of recognizing the situation around and seeing this, most likely this could be the center of why this entire area is flowing into such a negative focus of your memories. But as you look at it, you can tell the creature's definitely not good. It's just dying. This creature is 100% evil, given how bad the consecration just did to it.
All right. I grab the venomous skullcracker, my wonderful masterwork warhammer.
Oh.
It's still on the bag I'm holding just before you swing
Yeah,
at
yes,
me.
in Kez's hand, or in Dom's hand, like a baseball, basically, you know.
Dom, would you mind setting down the bag?
I'll shake the worm off the bag. I've spent good money on this bag. And that is another magic item you're about to hit it with, so yeah, I'll give the bag a shake, and I jostle the worm to the ground.
After a little bit of jostling, the creature's not fighting and it's not holding onto the bag. It falls over pretty easily, like almost like a leaf kind of goes from side to side slowly as it hits the ground. It is light for its weight, almost probably as light as a feather from what you can tell.
I mean, Dom's gonna step quite a few steps back in case there's some bullshit where this thing like explodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna stop Kez from squishing a bug.
I will say, I did look at, taking into account Eider's Knowledge Arcana here, just as a little quick note before Kez decides to hammer time. Eider, as you look this up and down, this could be a Baleful Polymorph spell. And whatever he's about to do is going to bring out whatever the fuck the creature is.
Hey,
That may not be a bad thing, but, just saying.
Because we may want. I have questions.
Kez's hammer's kind of in the air, ready, like over the creature as Kez is lining up the blow for a single good hit.
Mm-hmm.
This thing could be polymorphed, and that might break it out of the polymorph.
Mm-hmm.
I like gesture to like the entire like kind of landscape that's been warped behind us. It's like I don't know that we've got that if that comes to happen.
Well, what if all of this was caused when it's in this form?
Well, if it's polymorphed, then that's not necessarily the case. Like it usually would, it still would have the abilities. They're just there already.
Well, I mean, it was a ring earlier, and after being consecrated, it's now this.
As he gestures to the shriveled up golden worm.
Do I get the sense that this thing is like at all arcane, or is it just pure psionic?
You know what? Give me with the knowledge nature, by the depiction of this creature, it has to be some sort of psionic, as it doesn't seem to have a mouth, from what you can, like, after kind of looking at it, yourself. There's no way it could do a vocal component, and spell-like abilities still require vocal components, to use them, and 90% of spells require vocal components. So, your best guess is this thing is almost entirely psionic, maybe minor arcane. By a quick look over it. You can give me a knowledge arcana if you want to do a full check, though.
Sure.
My hammer cracking 25. With lightning.
Yeah, as Kez is like waking up the spell. What was that? What was your roll, Eider?
25.
25. As you look at this creature, you're almost 95% sure this creature has no arcane abilities. It is 100% a psionic creature in this form.
I poke it.
As you poke it, Kez I imagine looking all disappointment, saying as he was about to poke it with his hammer quite hard.
Bro, you just fucking kill-stealed!
And it was so lame, too!
Bro, what the actual fuck?
I didn't kill it, I'm just poking it.
That was enough.
As you poke it, are you poking it with your hand, or are you poking it with like a stick that you find on the ground?
Poking it with my hand, because I want to know what the fuck this thing is.
You hear a very sad and very dying voice go, "Are you? Oh gods, no, don't take my soul. Just kill me, please."
We're not after your soul. What are you? Who are you?
A thing that knows what you are. Just kill me.
The fuck am I?
You know, speaking it will only ruin it or make it worse.
I promise I won't take your soul if you tell me what I am.
The end times are coming regardless.
You're not making sense.
One of us was just consecrated and took a lot of fucking damage. No kidding, I'm not making sense. I don't have half my brain.
You're a worm.
Why
I don't
was-
think you had that anyway.
Wasn't always. But
Why
you,
are you a worm?
the great evil, need to be purged. As you begin to, Kez and Dom hear the same voice as the creature kind of focuses its last of its ability into your mind to try and telepathically connect and goes, "You kill him. He brings the end. The world. It will cloud again. The metal. He'll destroy it." As the worm begins to slightly shrivel up and begins to die, unfortunately, as the body begins to smoke and turn
Unfortunately,
to
well.
ash.
Bag of preservation preserves the body.
You about
I
to?
could see her. I could try and save it, to be fair.
You're welcome to. I
I
mean, Kez is kind of still standing over it with his hammer ready at the go while you look down at Eider. So, Dom about 10 feet back from the creature.
So to clarify, it was begging me and Kez to kill Eider.
Correct.
This thing is so fucking old. No, we need to know more. What the fuck is going on? I pumped like
Alright,
the
save it
level
then.
1. Yeah, I pump up like just like literally like 2 HP, like a level 1 spell into it to heal it, to save it from like just immediately dying
Okay.
as it's like fading out.
1 sec. I need to roll for something. Fantastic. Kez and Dom, give me will saves.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a bad
Is
idea.
it School of Enchantment?
No.
Damn. I'll get it one of these days.
One of these days. Well, probably not on the Psionic Island, but you know, when you
Oh
leave.
my fucking god.
23.
23 succeeds. All right.
15. I'm rolling.
Dom,
so good, guys.
your finger has a second ring on it, and it is glimmering
God.
with a bright emerald gem on it. As you watch Eider kind of flow a pure link of blue arcane energy into the dying creature below. As it wraps around your finger, Dom, you hear a voice in your head go, "Oh, thank the gods you are all stupid. I was thinking I was going to die. Fantastic. And such a beautiful stupid host. Thank you. You can't get rid of me now," as you feel a piercing on your finger as something bites you.
Can I attempt to punch it and, due to the nature of my tentacle arm, steal whatever psionic power it has before it activates?
Sure, I'll take a chance. I'll let you get attacked.
Yeah,
why not?
I'll hit the ring. I'll hit the ring with the tentacle, give it a
As
smack.
Kez
I'm
just
literally
looks over, sees this ring, and sees you about to punch your hand.
Are you
I'm
fucking
literally-
kidding me? I was about to get rid of it! You son of a bitch!
I'm literally just trying to steal the psionic thing before it does whatever the fuck it's about to do to my already fucked up character. Do I get an advantage if I'm basically just hitting myself?
No.
Why? I'm not moving. The ring can't move if I don't move.
Yeah, but the ring has an AC, and it can
Okay, well. it's
Until it bites you.
21.
21. Funny enough, you actually miss. As you hit the palm of your hand, and the ring moves up just to the tip of your middle finger to avoid the full blow.
I'll cut off my hand. I'll do it.
As Eider looks over, seeing the same thing that that Kez is, and that is Dom yelling at their left non-tentacled hand as a ring moves up and down
Not
and
even
begins
my
to
arm.
bite.
It's just a random arm I got.
Now the good thing
Get
is,
rid of it.
I do have to make a bite attack, and that's a 17 to hit your AC.
To hit just normal AC or touch AC?
That is touch AC.
Hang on.
Oh, actually, nope, I'm wrong on that. That would be actually a 12 because I don't get my +5 to my that. Never mind. That's the
Does that miss
secondary
my
ability.
touch?
It does. Oh fuck. as
I got the
as
kid.
Dom like pulls the ring, quickly shoving it to the floor away from him onto the ground as the ring kind of jumps back into the air, reacting almost immediately. The ring stops and just stays floating for a moment. You all begin to hear a telepathic voice go, "Alright, this game is tiring me out, and I'll be honest, I would rather one of you take me with you and not leave you with an ill taste in your mouth. So, I'll make a compromise. I give you 3 questions, and in response, one of you will decide to take me with you. I don't require you to wear me permanently. I ask only to be removed from this damn accursed place. And, lastly, before you ask, no, I do not know how to get out of here. If I did, I wouldn't be here. Is there a understanding that we can come to with this?"
I'm looking at Kez, who has the hammer, to see what he's about to fucking do. Because he's been primed and ready this entire time.
Yeah, except instead of looking at the ring, I'm looking at Ida right now.
With anger in your eyes as we from the earlier.
Well,
Ida, what are you doing?
Just kind of like think it over, like look it up and down. 3 each or no game.
2 each.
Fine, but I'm the one taking you.
If you use any of your abilities upon me, we will both be killed. Make that known to yourself now.
Well, I guess you'll have a lot to teach me.
I despise you, but your questions, bring them so that we may be gone of this place as soon as possible.
Fine. If you choose not to answer any question, though, the deal's off.
I will answer to what I know. I cannot guarantee the answers to the universe, for I do not know them.
Like, gesture to Dom to start us off, because I think Kez is still fucking pissed.
why start me off? I'm looking through my notes trying to
I
figure out
could
what
have
the
killed
fuck I have
it!
questions for.
The creature says yes to Kaz, and he says, "You could have killed me." Next question.
That was a question.
That was an exclamation.
That wasn't a question.
This dude. Hey, Ring. Do you know what? Have you gone to school?
Yes. Next
No.
question.
No, that wasn't actually a character.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
That would be so fucking funny.
I would just turn and
hang
slap
on.
the shit out of you. My
Yeah,
God.
no, it was. I think the first question can think of when he's just offered, like, hey, ask a question, I'll answer it. I'm just gonna look at the ring and ask, where is Oath hiding?
I do not know for what oat is. Ask another question.
Do I still? Nope, I'm not finishing that. That's null and void. I'm operating under the assumption I still have 2, so very well. I almost fucked up there, out of character. I don't know what Dom would ask because he's so fucked up. Right? Oh no, I do know what he's asked. How can I remove the belt on my person? And if it is not removable, how can I overpower it? And Dom will gesture to the Granaga belt.
Take your own life.
That is the only option you are giving.
That is the only option I know of.
Boom, 2 questions.
As Dom realizes,
Explanation of the one.
The 2 questions have been answered as the ring turns to Kaz.
I mean, Dom doesn't have anything else he's like burning to ask, so.
I'll go last.
Ring turns to Eider.
All right. You said that I'm supposed to end the world. What exactly did you mean and how?
The one who rises with the abilities you've possessed caused the age of magic to come to an end, creating what you know today as Deathor.
Deathor, like, hates me. It
That
reacts
is-
more violent.
That is correct. It does indeed despise the one that created it.
I didn't create Deathor. I'm not even that old.
Is that your question?
No. Because I don't think you can answer that one.
It might be the title you've been given, Iter. And I gesture to where the mark on Iter's neck is.
Yeah, there's a Deathsmith bit, but... Alright. How did you come to be trapped in this place? The full story.
I, long ago, found myself, and now over the next hour, he is going to address his entire childhood and life story of living with his loving parents, knowing a strange, slawed child that used to bully him, that was known for changing out his scales between brown and blue while he made fun of the smaller children and bullied them as a youth.
Classic.
Yes, eerily looking similar to an individual known as Floorsnap in another universe. As the creature kind of continues telling its tale of a peaceful life, everything you'd expect. It's almost eerie how much this thing matches similar to what you'd expect of a commoner living in a simple town, never seeing the world. Most this creature seemed to ever do was go out amongst the fields and enjoy playing amongst the trees with the other beasts that would come up to it. Finally, as it comes to an end with that story, the creature goes. And then they came, enslaved us, made deals. The one who bullied and chose to push the lessers around made a deal with those it should have never, betraying all of what it believed. Its parentage gave it the advice and told it to stick with its plan. And then we all saw ourselves scattered to the forewind for those who didn't wish to become blades for those of darkness. I found myself on a cursed island, alone. Creatures of strange abilities, foreign capabilities, understandings I had no knowledge of. Beasts with strange and large craniums that were gifted, that could craft and crash my own magic without concern. I angered one of the beasts that slumbered down below, before what you recognize as the apex came. A creature that slept now on the surface as a deep shadow of darkness, and watches each of us even now. It turned me into this, and since I've not been able to change my form back while within its domain.
I guess the stories about the darkness aren't entirely made up, though.
That is correct, though that is 3 questions, as it turns to Kez.
I was asking myself the question.
I can feel Hunter's want to ask what the thing is in the bag.
I mean, it's not a bad one.
That's true, but I know that's been on his mind like this entire game, so that's I was like, man.
Yeah, like I'm trying.
But there are other
to think
things.
because I'm trying to think of questions that this creature might know how to answer.
It's true. Good, fair point.
You know,
It is
Could ask
Because-
about the Lich. Because like the
I mean-
visions you've seen, like if they, like even if like you only can ask is like if they're real or like how true they are.
How true what you saw was real? That could be also a good question. Is this an illusion made up by a beast around us, or is this actually true, or is this just something that put together by my memories? There's tons of questions there. Take your time. Take a second. Do you want us to
Yeah.
take a quick 5-minute break and give you a minute?
No.
Okay.
I think at least I got one question.
Can we take the 5-minute break?
We
I
will
can
here in a
get-
sec. Yeah, we will here in a sec. Don't worry. Go ahead, Kizla.
First question would be: are these ruins around us real, or are they just manifestations of my memories?
Both. They are real, but not here. Manifestations, but not. They are real to you and the surrounding terrain, but they will be gone as soon as the beast is slain.
Okay.
As it
All right, and this is me, Hunter, talking out loud, not
Yeah.
Kez. So, from what we know, they're talking about the beast is probably the apex monster on this island, is essentially the reason that this is up and about. And
No, he's talking about the darkness, not.
well,
the-
didn't he not say the beast, in which you all know as apex monsters?
Yeah, he's talking about like them as a concept.
Okay, I'm under the assumption that it was the apex monster of this island.
No, that is correct. Yeah, you are correct in that. Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the apex monster of this island, what we're gonna try to bring back alive, or convince, is the creator of this.
No, this creature was the apex monster of this island before the Ulcer Sparkly arrived here.
Oh, okay. So this creature who we're talking to, it was the former apex monster.
No, the one that turned him into this. The guy, the ring, or the guy who turned the guy into the ring. The monster behind all this, in theory.
Okay, and it won't change back until that monster is slain, which means it's still out there and alive somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, we could probably cheat it into answering whatever questions we want about the darkness, because otherwise it doesn't get to leave.
Mm-hmm. Well, we also need to leave anyway, but yeah.
Yeah,
So-
well, it's like we're trapped here too, so like, it's gonna work with us probably on the darkness questions,
Mhm,
because otherwise, well, that's a fucking dumb idea.
Yeah. Okay. So knowing that this place, I mean, while it's a real place, it's just a manifestation of the mind, though. I got no more questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Maybe you'll know something. How can I remove the mark of cataclysm from me without doing myself great bodily harm or changing whom I worship?
Gain the artifacts of your god, and be recognized as her true champion. A belief and position that hasn't been held since the Clouded Age, and one shall see a future without destruction.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a long road. Alright, well, those are my two questions.
The ring kind of pauses for a moment, heading towards Eider as a chain kind of appears around Eider's neck, and the ring kind of almost lassos itself in and kind of sits upon him, staying on the outside of his armor as it stays there. The ring
It really
then,
does not want to touch my skin.
the ring then responds in each of your heads and goes, I'm glad you have gotten your questions out of the way, as the beast has returned, and it has brought your friends with it. I wish you luck while I enjoy the view. And that's where we're going to take a quick 5-minute break before we get into the next stage.
What? No thanks, Dom. You're too fucked up. And then immediately tried to latch onto Dom as a host.
Well, he didn't want to die.
That's fair. I guess if you're desperate.
I could have killed him and we could have had XP.
As well.
One XP.
That's not going to be a problem here in a minute, don't worry.
Yeah, we have
If we're fighting an apex
fight.
monster.
As we return back to our session here, as the ring kind of attaching itself out a chain around Eider's neck, avoiding touching his body physically with the ring itself as much as it can, Kez, you begin to notice as you're kind of looking over at Eider, out of the corner of your eye, the mist coming back, and kind of expecting to see this scene again, but not wanting to kind of focus on it, but something catches your eye almost immediately as the Lich figure, as he sits down at the bar or in the at the table with your mother, and across from her, the booth rather. He seems to kind of get up look over at you, and his blue gemstone eyes begin to glow as he changes or keeps the form. Your mother kind of taking the same form, and these skeletons from earlier coming from outside as they begin to almost come through the mist, seeing the stone giant skeletons and a storm giant skeleton begin to come through. As these creatures begin to pull through the mist, immediately you hear a crackling and a howl as all around all three of you begin to notice and hear the voices of Kesnanok failed, Kesnanok failed, as children of Storm Giant descent kind of run around you three in between and seem to be like joking and laughing as they pass by.
Children making fun of me. God, my one penis.
God damn it!
Take
This
one
was a
six
serious
seconds,
moment,
damage.
god damn it.
No, I know.
You are a bastard. Oh, good.
Cast calm emotions on yourself so you can get
God.
together.
As you hear, though, the children begin to kind of sing this and run, the bodies kind of standing out, the mist dissipates, but the figures do not, as all three of you look over and see two huge storm giant skeletons standing behind what looks to be two giant stone giant skeletons, kind of standing out. One holding the head of Kez's father as it kind of smiles over at Kez, swinging it about like like a mace. The two liches seem to kind of stand at the forefront, though, one with their blue gemstone eyes and one that seems to be a almost degraded and broken down version of your own mother, Kez, as you look on, cuts and rips and destroyed flesh upon her body. This creature's doing everything to irritate and insult you as it continues to pester, but the bodies do not move.
I was serious about the calm emotions.
I'm good, guys. No, I'm totally of sound mind and body. And please allow me to read this spell really quick before I cast it.
As Kez kind of looks up and calmly breathes as he pulls out his spellbook, flips a page.
Give me 1 second. No, I'm cool, I'm calm, and I'm collected. There's...
Well, I mean, it's like 6 seconds. You're like flipping rapidly to the page you're looking for, so.
But,
Good.
yeah, no, I'm of sound, mind, and body, and I'm going to cast Aura of the Sun.
Oh! Wait, what does that do? Hold up.
Alright,
It's
so...
a metal last name, that's for sure.
That's right.
It's nothing like too crazy damage-wise, but
Mhm.
this is definitely going to help protect me. By casting Aura of the Sun, it's a 3.5 spell. Let's see. By casting Aura of the Sun, you fill the area around you, which is only a 10-foot radius,
Mhm.
centered on me, with a warm glowing light that eliminates natural shadows and hampers magical darkness. Any creature attempting to cast a spell from the Shadow Subschool or a spell with the Darkness descriptor within an Aura of the Sun must succeed on a caster check of DC 11 plus my caster level, or the spell will fail. Areas of magical darkness originating from 3rd level or lower, and effects are temporarily suspended when overlapping with an Aura of the Sun. Creatures that take penalties in bright light also take them while within an Aura of the Sun, and an undead creature will take 1d6 points of positive energy damage at the end of its turn every round it spends within the spell's aura. Furthermore, any creatures attempting to hide within the aura takes a -4 penalty on hide checks. The effect is centered on me and moves with me. Anyone who enters the aura immediately becomes subjected to the effects, but creatures that leave are not affected. Are no longer affected.
Alright, so what was that save the undead has to make while it's in your area? Because you got undead in your shadow, buddy.
The save is only if it casts a spell with the Shadow Subschool or a spell with the Darkness descriptor.
Oh, okay.
If it's in,
Mm-hmm.
it'll let's see.
Because you said for undead they take damage.
Yeah, they'll take damage at the end of their turn if they're in the spell's aura. So it's not my turn, it's their turn.
Got you. Oh, it's their turn. Got you. As you begin to cast this, you watch as your shadow screams in pain. Almost immediately as it screeches, the two lich-like bodies beginning to crack apart. And I'm going to roll something real quick. Please don't be in that one. Thank you. Okay, cool. So I do maintain. As the two lich bodies seem to kind of stay together, kind of looking over at you, readying what looks to be staves that appear in their hands almost immediately as the creatures prepare themselves to attack you. All right, let's get some initiative as we got the aura of the sun going off. Who is feeling confident?
With my rolls this session? Not me.
Well, I was feeling like super psyched and ready to get into it, but I rolled a 4 for initiative.
Well, thanks to you, I have.
You have a lot on your mind.
Oh no, I'm starting to roll nat 20s. Oh, gentlemen, I'm sorry for this. This is no longer my fault.
Now, get it out the way.
Right. All right. So 15 for Dom, 16 for Eider, and Kez. What'd you get for your initiative?
4.
4. Yep. You know what? Fair enough. I thought that was a joke. Trying to give you a chance. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Hey, I'm honest. What can I say?
That you didn't roll
You
4.
should've fucking lied.
Yeah, no, there you go. That'll also be a negative because of that.
So, but next time I'll lie about my rolls, I promise.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, 2 and 6 for that. Oh, man. I made a joke.
If you're telling the truth about lying, are you lying? Or if you don't lie, then are you still lying because you're not telling the truth?
Focus on the game.
God.
Lock in.
Lock in.
No, I can't lock in with these fucking rolls.
Listen, Ken has to lock in because of all the emotions going around right now.
I've been rolling
Again, it's a
2,
mental
14,
thing.
and 8 in that order around the D20 all night. I cannot lock the fuck in.
You'll be fine. This is the perfect time for not having a goddamn Ned with you. Yeah, goddamn. My mind's not working here as I'm doing numbers. I'm
Just
baffled by
Ned.
my
There's
rolls.
Several.
Well, it's the Ned, I guess, at that point, right?
No, we can we can make another. You find a druid, you cover him in moss, you attach a monkey tail to him. You give him a fucked up eye.
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Hey, Kez, good news. You only lost the roll to like 2 or like 3 of the enemies. 2 of them were still low enough, so you got something going for you. Alright. At the top of the initiative. Now, was it at the beginning of their turn or at the end of their turn? Make clear.
End of their turn.
Alright. Fuck. Alright, as you lot look about, I will say, just to give a perspective, Kez and Eider, you are about 5 feet from each other, kind of standing in the center of this castle ruins that is slowly shifting to almost a open, flat terrain of sandy ground. As the stones begin to suck into the dirt, vanishing, leaving up nothing but that, Dom is about 10 feet behind both of you, roughly, and about 5 feet more from Eider. So, close enough to each other, within reach, but just as a clarity, as these skeletons find themselves about 20 feet in front of Kez and Eider, respectively. As you realize, a shadow between Kez and Eider, and unfortunately in the aura, where I didn't expect you to glow like the fucking sun. Which kind of makes this awkward, because I also can't use anything. I am literally powerless. I have to run away, so we're gonna...
Keznok's eyes glowing with the unmatched power of the sun.
I get to make a can I even actually? Oh, I can't actually get away with partial action because I can't. Oh no. So I am stuck on you, like white on rice. As the shadow just embraces its death like a holy fire. As it made a very bad miscalculation in this situation. Alright, well, it's its turn, as I can't do anything. Oh, shit. We're gonna knock the crap out of you in a minute, but until we can either, before you're up, Kez, roll your damage to see how much it takes.
Yes. I mean, it's not too... It's only 1d6 of positive energy.
Yeah.
That is, 4 points of positive energy damage.
Now, let me double check something, because I can never remember. Do undead also get fucked by positive energy, if I'm remembering correctly?
Oh, they just take it as normal damage, because otherwise positive energy heals
No,
things.
okay, cool, yeah, perfect. I was making sure. Alright, fantastic. So, with that means that... Ooh, that's not great. As the creature is almost begins to burn and smoke, you hear the screams from Kez's shadow as it changes and morphs about strangely, almost kind of giving that big bulbous appearance that, as you look for a moment, Dom recognize from behind the the waterfall earlier. But it stays. Good.
No, I was gonna make a joke. Please go.
No, go ahead. What's your joke if you got one?
I was just gonna say, it's that round fucker. Get him.
And as you scream that out, the shadow seems to lose its shape and blimp up to a huge creature, almost giving a perfect depiction of Kez's old manly form. All right.
Looking it over, does this look like
Wait,
an
this
actual?
was huge.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Ryder.
Is this? All right. So distinguishment time, because like fucking D&D brain rot. Is this a shadow with like lowercase s or capital S?
By no means of either. This is technically a separate creature, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, we're cool.
Yep.
I just want to double check.
No worries. Yep. As it ends its turn, taking the holy glowing damage of Kez as he laughs somewhat in triumph, enjoying the greatness of this moment. Eider, you're up. The smell of bacon. No, you're good.
Just the knowledge devotion check real fast. Noting
Yep.
that. Let's see here. So we've got the zombies, or sorry, the skeletons in front of us.
Mhm.
We've got big fucker that has now become like blimped out and has become its own creature.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like incorporeal?
As you look at it for a moment, give me a knowledge nature check. Or actually survival in this case, I think would be more appropriate.
Knowledge religion, since it's just an undead creature?
No. You're trying to figure out if this thing, its individual abilities, not necessarily the holy devotion, like what's noted in the Holy Bible.
14.
14? Roughly from what you can tell, if this thing is either incorporeal or it's ethereal, one of the two, but you're definitely sure it doesn't seem to have a physical manifestation, because it seems to be attached as Kez moves his legs. It moves with Kez.
Got it. Yeah. I like grimace, like looked at Dom and like shake my head and say, "Don't bother. Your punches won't land on that thing."
What am I supposed to do then?
I like gesture to like the sea of other things to hit.
Fine.
And then I'm gonna give us a little insurance policy. I'm gonna make a little cloud. Nobody's
Okay.
gonna be happy about this cloud.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Is this Cloud of
Cloud.
Daggers?
No,
Okay.
it's a cloud of sunlight.
Oh, solid.
Oh, you bastard. Alright.
Hey, how does it feel about 9th level spells of fire of sunlight?
Not well. Oh, no. Wait, you using this as a cleric? Wait, how are you pulling this off?
Oh, the insert, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot because you got your fire dragon scales and stuff. Yeah, oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, made a laser one. That's good, just pure damage to undead.
Alright,
Just comboing with the cloud.
let's see what you got. That's 43 to hit. Or is this
42
damage for being in the cloud for specification?
It's damage for being in the cloud, and just rolls the save.
Okay. What's the save, out of curiosity?
Reflex.
Reflex, okay. Well, that's great, because while I'm attached...
Oh, it fails.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect to succeed, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So it's just a 20-foot cloud of just daylight.
Yep.
On top of Kez, it's already daylight.
Yep, give me a minute. Let me just do some quick math here, as this poor creature's realizing it picked the wrong fight. Okay.
yeah,
The creature starts coughing up shadowy blood. And he's realizing quite quickly, oh shit, I fucked with the wrong party. This was supposed to be easier.
You tormented the wrong cleric, my guy.
It was like, behold, the reverse jumping.
9 rounds of holy fire clouds. All right. Okay, as that lights up, as you cast off your 2 spells, watching the creature, the shadow, kind of losing its expanded form and shrinking down as if pieces of it are being burned away. All right, Dom, as you kind of watch this, I assume. Oh, that was wait. I thought that's 2. Oh, fair enough. Never mind. I thought it was 2 spells. My apologies.
No, it's just the one insert.
Gotcha.
I like turn and spray Dom and Kez with the sanctuary effect.
Nice.
You fucker.
So come at me, fuckers.
Sanctuary.
You eventually have to try and attack me, so help me.
Wait, if I attack with Sanctuary, does it breaks it, right?
Yes, it does.
So I basically
Yep.
gotta hold my turn.
You go either hold your turn or you go and swing at them. It's up to you. All right.
How many?
Huh? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah.
Is it?
Go ahead.
I say if I'm next, can I ask how many other little guys are around?
I will confirm there are 4 other skeletons of the storm and giant stone giant variety between the 2, and then 2 what look to be liches of sorts standing over about 20 feet in front of Kez and Eider. So 6 enemies total.
Okay. Trying to, because. So for the Sanctuary, is the exact wording an attack? If I do an attack, it breaks it.
If anything you do involves an attack roll, then
Yeah.
it'll break it.
Involves an attack
Yep.
roll. Okay.
Yep.
Let
So
me
while
look
you
at-
contemplate
let me
for a
look what I
second,
have.
Either as you turn, activate, kind of switching out the thing, and as the glowing shield, a symbol of your house, not really what you were hoping for, but as you see your own house sigil begin to glimmer and glow amongst them, it seems to give the sanctuary effect, recognizing what the Snowbeards have seemingly recognized you as you see the Spellforge itself appear. As Eider does so, as you both are kind of covered in what looks to be this purple-like magic that seems to give on a depiction of a large forge, kind of ever burning in front of you. Dom, you are up. Unless Eider, you had anything
Yeah.
else before we get. Well, I guess I will clarify to make sure.
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool, perfect. Making sure. In case you had any like immediate or swift actions I had missed, to make my life worse. Go ahead, Dom. Yeah, you're up.
Since I had said I was trailing behind the group before,
About 10 feet, yep.
Would it be 10 feet? Perfect.
Yep.
I'm gonna use an action to activate my Aura of Gloom for 10 feet. So any creature inside the mist 10 feet around me has to make that will save. I don't
Okay.
think any of them are that close yet.
The caller is, or the shadow is, so.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
remind me, is this for like anything specific, or is it just all creatures?
So it's a will save to see if they become shaken for a round. Leaving the mist does not remove the effect for the end of its duration, and it is indeed a fear effect. You have read
Oh,
the
then never mind.
description.
I'm then
Yeah.
it's immune. Okay.
I didn't figure it would work, but I'm just throwing that out there just to do something. For my other action, it's not tailing action, but I have nothing else to do that's passive, really. So for my action while sitting, I want to try to make eye contact with as many of the skeletons as I can to activate my gaze,
Okay.
gaze to
Mhm.
paralyze them. It's also a will save if they fail.
Yeah. Is this
It
a
is-
fear? Huh?
It is paralyzed with fear. I thought it was just
Yep.
general paralyzed.
I was gonna say, yeah, no. Yeah, as you look over, trying to get looking them in the eyes one after another, each of the creatures you can also, as what Eider just wrote.
Yeah, but I want to be higher in the initiative when the fighting actually starts.
As you look on, though, each of the creatures seem to look in your eyes unaffected as you see their undead eyes without any seeming emotion within them, unfazed and unbothered as you look on. Nothing seems to happen.
I get my free Winggraft action to make a bluff check for that a bonus next
Okay.
turn, so I'm just gonna choose the closest skeleton.
Okay. That would be one of the two liches that are kind of standing in the forefront of the party of 6.
Cool. My bluff check against their sense motive
Mm-hmm.
is oh no, I was reading it upside down. It's not 6, that's a 9, so that's a 20.
Ooh, okay. Nice work, nice work. As you, I was gonna say, I don't think I have, let me double check. Oh, I do. What do I need to roll against your bluff, out of curiosity?
Sense motive.
Alright. I do have that. Oh, well, there's your answer. You do succeed.
Hell yeah. I get my little tiny +2 bonus.
As you look on, kind of bouncing around, ready for the lich to cast a spell, catching its eye, the gemstones begin to glimmer. However, one of these storm giant skeletons at the back is first, and it is immediately going to charge over at Eider, swinging its wide hands like claws. And by charge, I do just mean move over towards you.
The arms of the angels fly away.
It's okay, you'll be fine. That's a 28 to hit.
Misses.
Oh.
Well, I get 2 of these in action. So that's wow.
Misses.
The dice like you tonight, don't they, Eider? Jesus. All right. Well, he ends his turn with as his wide hand goes over your head, expecting you to be taller as you look up, annoyed at the creature's kind of wide swings. You really don't have to do much to dodge out of the way.
Question: How
Yes.
far is that creature away from Eider?
That he is standing within 15 or within 10 feet of him.
Okay, so he's
There's
out
the
of
cloud.
range.
Yep.
But it did enter my cloud.
It did.
If he was within 5 feet of you, he would be within range.
What's the roll for your cloud? Is that
Reflex.
reflex? All right. You know what I actually can do? That's a 16.
That fails.
Ah, thank God. Okay, great. How bad will the... Oh, okay, 55 points of sunlight. Thankfully, the skeletons are not weak to sunlight. Unfortunately, skeletons also don't have much HP. Turns out you need padding, as I've been confirmed. The true worth of D&D is the fatter you are, the healthier you are. Alright, as the creature
Right.
kind of ignites into flame almost immediately from the glimmer of the cloud around Eider, as the creature tries to get closer. What was that, Dom?
I was gonna say that's why Ode is so healthy.
It's true, it's true. The creature ends its turn, coughing up a bit of smoke, as it looks a bit surprised now that it has eyebrows from the burning. But as you look on, Kez, hammer in the hand, ready to go, what would you like to do?
So how many? Is it just one lich or there's 2 of them?
There's 2 standing side by side. I will mention you are sanctuaried still, and there are 2 other creatures that still need to go after you.
Fun fact: the indirect damage from your aura will not break Sanctuary.
No, so you could just walk up and let your aura affect them.
Mm-hmm. And both of those liches are attached to me like shadow ways?
No. They're standing about 10 feet in front of you. Or sorry, 20 feet in front of you. My apologies.
Gotcha. So, but there is something that's attached to me.
Yes, there's a shadow. There's a shadow that seems to be attached to you. Yes, correct.
Okay, sick.
That's burning and screaming, trying to get away from you, but unfortunately chose the wrong person to grapple. And now it can't get away because I can't partial action break my grapple. So, you know.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my movement to walk up to the liches.
Okay. As you walk forward towards them, they seem to not really react, not seeming to change at all, moving their hands whatsoever. Their staff still standing up in front of them as you walk forward. How far are you just walking right in front of them, within 5 feet? They're only 20 feet in front of you, so...
I will walk within 10 feet, because that's as far as I could... I could reach that far as well.
Okay. As you take 10 feet forward, a step, the shadow does finally get a chance to break away from you. But unfortunately, this is a will save. Please let me get the fuck off. I do not want to be turned into barbecue. Fuck. God damn it. Alright. Alright, well, we'll be barbecuing for a little minute. Alright,
Just
as
like when we lit that one flying snake on fire. And
I
it was
know.
cooking.
Yeah, as you take a step forward, you watch as your aura begins to ignite. Neither of the liches will make a save. They will both automatically fail. However, I will mention as your fiery aura continues to expand, expecting the creatures to be burned, nothing seems to happen. The liches don't seem to react, and the flame seems to lick about their cloth, but not ignite them.
Oh, they're not real undead.
Eider shouts over the burning clouds and fire all around.
Well, if they're not undead, that sucks. But if they're beings of shadow, they'll have a hard time doing spells, anyways, within this range. So, yeah, let's see.
What can I? That's right, because I have Sanctuary on, and Sanctuary only goes away if you cast a spell that will damage somebody else, right?
Yeah, it has to be an attack roll.
Directly attack them.
Yeah.
If I directly attack someone.
So, like, AoE doesn't count as an example. Technically, you can cast a fireball, because technically, as long as you're not aiming at an individual, but you're aiming at the floor, I think is what, if I remember right, that's the trickiness of Sanctuary. Like, there's some BS that you can really play with it.
Yeah.
Depends on how creative you can come up with an answer for.
So, if there's a spell
Mhm.
that essentially just says you call out to your deity, declaring your foe's crimes, and having your deity punish them.
Are you making an attack against them, or is it just your deities making the attack?
So the spell is called Deific Vengeance, and it's you calling out to your deity and your deity attacking them.
Right, does it require an attack roll or is it a save?
It's a save.
Then nope, it wouldn't break Sanctuary.
It's Ella both throwing hands, not you.
That's what I like to hear! Alright, so we're gonna have... Are there any differences between these liches, or are they just like...
They're identical.
They're identical? Alright, we're gonna do left lich, because I like the double L.
Okay.
And I need them to make a will save.
Alright. They automatically succeed as you realize your spell does not go off. That's not a creature. There's nothing there, Kez. As you watch your magic take effect, and seemingly the spell does not go off.
Wild. Alright, well, I guess I'll use my remaining couple of... how much more feet do I have to move?
I was saying, you don't lose the spell slot to keep in mind for this.
Solid! That sounds great.
Yeah, you just lose the action for it, so make clear.
Yeah, no, because I mean, if then I have no reason to be in front of these guys if there's don't exist.
There's 3 skeletons behind them that are quite large giants that look to be the storm giants and the stone giant bodies that attacked you.
Okay, they're behind them?
Yes, and those ones look to be real. As you saw one of them run over and swipe at Eider.
Okay, then I'll go towards those guys.
No, drag them to my cloud, because like they all have to like come into my cloud of like damage. when you
Okay,
just
so
stack the
what?
damage.
All right. Well, is there?
That'd be 10
so
feet
there's
back.
3, so one of them came over, and now there's 3 still there.
Yes, correct.
All right, gotcha. So then, because I have like 60 movement speed,
Mm-hmm.
and
And you've only moved 10 feet.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go to the other side of this skeleton that's next to Eider, so I can be flanking him.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk over, kind of keeping yourself on the side of Eider, keeping your back pointed away from the incoming skeletons as you face forward towards their direction.
I mean, I don't like those liches aren't real, but I'm still wary of them. Who
Yeah.
fucking knows?
as you kind of get on the side of Eider and get ready to make a strike. All right, that'll end your turn, Kez, unless you have an immediate or swift action.
No, man, I was so ready. I had 7 D6s ready to go.
He's been saving it for a lich to come after him. It's so disappointing.
Like,
All
Day
right.
of Vengeance is a 2nd level spell, but it does a D6 per level when it comes to undead creatures.
It does, and there are other skeletons that are coming after you as we're gonna start.
I'm so ready.
Another stone giant skeleton is going to rush over, and seeing you walk away is going to target you, Kez.
We'll save.
Yes, thank you. Actually, I'll make that first.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can't make the rescue attacks of it.
Well, fudge.
Fails.
Yes, thank you.
We do love a little bit of sanction.
I'm gonna drop a
For the
bomb.
audience.
I'm gonna drop a bomb on Eider later. Alright.
Really?
Yes. Well, we're gonna find out. We'll find out together on this next episode.
And then kicking rocks after. It's like, man, not a freaking real lich.
As a swipe from a large stone giant skeleton's hand goes over his head. Alright, the storm giant is going to do the same. I'm gonna give it another one. However, it is going after Eider. So I'll just do those twice. That'll make my life easier. Boop. Ooh. There we go. Let's see. 27-35.
The 35 meets.
So it does not hit. Alright, as the storm giant's clubbed hand kind of smacks onto your armor and hitting you in the side, you feel the impact, Eider, as it hits you, but thankfully your armor stands strong as you push the arm away. The creature's now beginning to surround you lot and beginning to flank on either side of both Kaz and Eider, just through the numbers of skeletons around them. However, I do have to admit, yeah, there it is. So that's you want to roll the second one.
I don't think, based off of how Kez was standing, he wouldn't be in the
Oh, that's right.
or what is it? Stone giant wouldn't be in it.
Kez is large. That's right. I keep thinking he's medium. That's why. Okay. Yeah. So it's only gonna be the storm giant skeleton. Whew. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Let's see. Right, minus that, and okay. Thank God for rounding, as the skeleton's arm goes flying off in a crispy burn of ashes, as the storm giant ends its turn.
Theoretically, it gets a save.
I can't. Well, I can think. Can I make your save?
You can roll a 20. Like,
Let's see.
it's half damage, but it's still half damage.
No.
Nope.
No. Thanks for the hope, man. Thanks for the hope.
Hey, I'm just calling it fair.
I'm just depressed now. All right, you broke your DM. Oh, fantastic.
No.
As we go back up to the top of the initiative, the shadow on Kez is going to. Well, I still can only run away from you. I can't break my grapple because of that. Fuck. Oh, that so sucks. Okay, all right. The shadow continues to struggle and scream, but ends its turn as I literally can't do anything else while I'm inside your goddamn holy aura.
Wait, so that other creature that swung was in my 10-foot radius, right?
The one that swung at Eider?
Yeah.
No. Or are you talking about the one that swung at you earlier, the large stone giant
Yeah,
skeleton?
the one that came at me and swung. So that would
Yes.
also take the d6.
Yep, feel free to roll both.
All right. So for the giant skeleton, that's 1 positive damage,
All right.
and for the shadow, another 4 positive.
Okay. As the shadow screams in horror and pain, having thought you'd be the easier mark, as it ends its turn.
It's like I trapped myself, and it's just all sunlight.
And as the creature ends its turn, the holy aura beginning to ignite it, the cloud seems to burn away as the shadow shatters apart and the skeletons drop as the bodies lose
Oh my
their
God.
animation. The
Oh my fucking god!
the illusion around you vanishes, and you find yourself back in the very peaceful and beautiful waterfall oasis, which turns out was actually the terrain all along.
What?
Double
But this
trick.
was weird. This was the weird one.
As you look over and kind of Kezelman looking about, kind of saying this, looking behind the waterfall, you see a few things lying there, Kez, of 2 potion vials and what looks to be a single ring laying on the ground, or in this like inner dent behind the waterfall.
Do you think? Well, do you think it was whatever the ring was? Did that? Or well, let's go investigate.
We've
Yeah,
had such
look,
good
don't touch it.
experiences with rings so far.
Yeah, we already
Wait,
got
hold
like, a
on.
first
Do you still have the ring on your finger?
All around his neck.
Yeah, I like double check, like looking down.
As you look down, it's still there, but it is silent. You feel you do still see the emerald kind of glimmering as it does. Seemingly the creature still watching everything that's going on. You do feel a strange sense of excitement, though, Eider, that's not your own within your mind.
Just like tell it to be a good tenant, damn it, or else I'm fucking yeeting it into the ocean.
I'm gonna raise rent if you're not careful.
All right, let's go explore behind the waterfall. That's where the video game loot always is.
I mean, yeah, might as well. Also, I like double check that the ring isn't cursed before we pick it up.
As you can, yeah. Go ahead, Dom.
I want to inspect the potion vials to see if they were poison or just like other potions.
As the 3 of you kind of sneak into the through the waterfall, kind of sliding along the wall side, as you Kaz kind of gets up first, helping Eider in, and Dom really doesn't have to do much but lean down and look in, as the cave's a little only a size large, unfortunately. As Dom
I can't
ducks
move.
down a bit and has to crawl somewhat in.
Slav squats, does a little duck walk.
Yeah. As you get
Yeah.
in, though, together, it's a tight fit, as it's not a very deep cave. You see a few rough paintings of what looks to be Kez, the same depictions of your memories now just done through cave paintings on the wall that kind of glimmer with old paint as you kind of rub your hand across them. It kind of seems to break apart with the stone as it like turns to dust below. All right, and then for the items, as I know you're all excited, mostly for that.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I'm curious at why this guy
Chinese.
has paintings of like my memories and
Yeah.
homeland.
that's fair. Well,
No,
let's.
don't worry about that.
We'll start with the ring here real quick. Eider, give me, I think, you're going to just cast Identify on it? I assume?
Spellcraft. We haven't done the identify thing yet.
Oh, you don't have Identify yet? Okay, cool. Yeah, then just give me a spellcraft check then.
25.
Double check for spellcraft. Okay. As you look at this ring, it's designed it's a simple silver design with a few wave patterns etched into the band. And catch your attention, the little sapphire gemstones within it, kind of glimmering as it does. This is an old ring, probably a few thousand years old, but it is just a ring of plus 10 to swim checks. It's just a ring of swimming.
As a fire giant who can't swim,
Ring of
might be
swimming.
Yeah,
helpful.
there you go. There's the. Legitimately, that's it.
Solid.
Oh,
Alright, I just like put the ring or like pulled the ring up to like the other ring of
Mhm.
the slot, and it's like, look, you got a cousin.
you hear in your head, all 3 of you go. I am not a simple ring. My powers are far beyond that for those willing to wield me. Although last one who did turn into a. Yeah, never mind. It's not important.
Are you sure you wanted to make that bet?
I will end you.
You seem a lot more worried about me ending the world than anything
Didn't-
else.
You say
You
if
couldn't
use
even
powers
leave that
on you,
plane.
you kill each other.
What was that, Dom?
Dom said, didn't you say if he used his abilities on you, you would both die? Do you want to make Iter use his abilities?
I despise all three of you. As you feel the ring go quiet. Dom, give me
Hey, buddy.
give me a poison craft check for the potions, or no,
Oh,
alchemy.
I thought you were
Sorry.
gonna say for the guy. I was
No,
gonna say,
no.
first thing he did when he popped in Dom's brain is insult his mental illness. Dom's not on any good terms.
No. Just craft alchemy to see if you can recognize what the potions are,
Yeah.
and then we'll get to
That-
Kez's cave
Oh
paintings.
my god. Oh, now I'm getting the rolls adjacent to the 19. Wonderful, great. That is still a 18, despite my low rolls.
Okay. You do recognize these are both magical potions. As you kind of move them about in the liquid, seeing the viscous to them, they're a bit older. You're not really sure if the effects are as potent or more potent than what they were. But you do recognize the two spells pretty easily from the liquid coloration and the design, as these are lower end alchemy potions. One is a potion of jump, and the other two that you see in there are two potions of bull strength. And yes, I will post those real quick for you.
Okay. I could definitely use the bull strength potions. I don't know about the jump. Curious that we're getting a lot of traversal based loot.
As
That's
you can,
surely not a sign.
well, as you kind of look about the potions as you investigate them, Kez, as you look over the paintings, it's strange to see the depiction so simplified as you look them over. But so old and realistic, it's almost as if this seems like someone knew about it before it happened. It's strange. Hmm?
That's wild. And these are like old paint, like old, yeah?
Yes, we're talking like Neanderthal-style paintings, yeah.
And there's like, is there a body here? Or no?
As you look about, there is not a single body in the air in the room. As you check the paint, give me a heal check.
Solid. We love heal checks. I'm like a heal check guy.
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
You are the medic.
What?
All right. 31.
You recognize the red as it's dried blood that's been preserved for color. It should have browned ages ago as you kind of look at it, and kind of touching the green and the blue. It's draconic blood that's been mixed into some sort of paint-like substance. Someone, whoever did this, used some high-end valuable materials that you don't just get dragon's blood on the casual open market. Nor do you just kill a dragon casually. As you recall back to the mother and her skeleton dragons that chased you lot.
How important was this prophecy to kill dragons and put this stuff upon a wall? Now, of course, I'll relay this to my dear companions. Someone thought this prophecy was grand enough to slay dragons and use their blood to paint this prophecy, which depicts like my history.
I mean, maybe the person who made it was of draconic blood and just bloodlet themselves.
But
Be a
in
cheaper
different
way to
colors.
get it.
As Kez points, since you see green, black, blue, red, orange, brown.
No, that is concerning.
Yeah. Like if it was
All-
one, I could see that, but oh my god, it's like the whole
I
entire
mean,
freaking
maybe
chromatic
if
line.
baby dragons might have worked.
Kez, as you realize, every chromatic dragon blood is used in these paintings.
Good god.
Can Dom like use his
Hmm?
calligraphy skill in his little kit to attempt to like copy the
Yeah.
drawings, like to like replicate them, so
Yeah.
that way we have like a version of it to like take with us?
Sure, I'll
Um,
allow calligraphy for like a simple line version. I mean, the painting
see-
part will be the easy part, so yeah.
Yeah. I've got my fancy little ink quill pens. I won't be able to replicate the color unless the calligraphy kit has colored ink, but I would be able
no.
to replicate the strokes.
I think I think calligraphy kits are specifically designed just for quill and ink.
Yeah. Okay, so do I need to roll?
Yes,
I see.
yes, please do.
Cool. Let me check what my calligraphy bonuses. It's been a while since I've done anything with it.
Oh, I've been messaged
Other
by
than to
Eider.
mention I have it. That is a total of an 8 because Guess what? I also just remembered, which is gonna make lore sense for my low roll. I got this calligraphy kit when I was still large and not huge.
As you begin to kind of draw this out, what was the roll again here, real quick?
My big fucking finger.
What was the dice roll again? Sorry.
Oh, the total was an 8.
Oh, okay.
I was
I'm happy I clarified. I thought you said 28 there for a second. I was like, damn, all right.
No.
Okay, as you begin to do this design, thankfully, they are designs that are made by simpler people, so it's not hard to get most of the depiction pretty accurate to design. It is eerie, though, because as you look down on the page, it's almost as if the designs look like they're alive upon your page. But, I mean, as you get the design down, you get the rough depiction of it. It's not pretty, you're not going to win an award for it, but it definitely is exactly what you're looking at.
Since I'm seeing this,
Yes.
I want to make sure that canonically Keznok has this locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you don't mind, I would like to use auto hypnosis to memorize these diagrams.
Yeah. Give me an auto hypnosis roll.
Yeah, because the DC to memorize something is 15,
I believe so, yes.
and that is a 16. 11
Cool.
plus 5.
Nice. Let me double check something just to make sure, because I want to know if there's any bonuses. Because it's been a minute since I've had to look up psionics.
In the psionic lands?
Yeah. Well,
It's more likely than you think.
you know, you'd think that being the case, but not always. Here, let me pull up my auto hypnosis because it doesn't have it on my main page.
Yeah,
You got the reference.
I looked up like the skill like off D&D tools, and it shows me like the memorize thing.
Oh yeah, no, I've got the same thing. I just want to make sure if there's anything extra you get for it. You can memorize a long string of numbers, a long passage of verse. Difficult, but each successful check allows you to memorize a single page of text. Well, there's less than 800 words depicted on that diagram. I'd be impressed if I could have depicted that many creatures. That'd be a feat. That'd be a big dragon to kill. Yeah, I'd say yeah. Then as you look on, as you basically memorize the scene, even though the scene of what looked to be your mother kind of chartering a deal with this lich to kind of keep in mind, the lich's design still showing that same bright blue eyes that kind of glimmer and catches your attention.
What would you like? Just so I can like list it on my notes. What would we call these diagrams, these paintings? Would it just be Kez's history, Kez's prophecy, or something?
One of the two, either would work. In a sense, because this is in a sense what that is. And I will send you something real quick. So I'm gonna just send you a loose depiction. Oh, that's Eider. I would love to send Eider the loose depiction, but I don't think that would fit. All right. So, let me see. Let's see. I'm just gonna add these for your own notes real quick before I forget.
Also, did we just slay a former Apex monster?
Yes, that's what you were just told. There you go. That is roughly what you get as you work through the depiction, and you can add that to your notes if you'd like.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Including names that you were told to keep in as important things for later. As you kind of look this over, Eider, as Dom and Kez are kind of looking about the imagery and kind of taking it down for a moment, as you kind of look to your armor, kind of waiting to see what will happen, kind of picking up some of the dust as Kez kind of loosely rubs his hands over the paintings, remembering them as he is. Kind of brings some of the dust to your armor, and you watch as nothing really happens. Taking a moment, kind of take some liquid from your canteen, pouring a little bit into a small, what looks to be a little rock over to the side that has a small indent to it, and kind of mix the material and then pour it, and almost immediately the material is absorbed into the armor, though no effect seems to happen.
Like, kind of like take a moment, like just like ask Dragothex, like, oh. You want the rest?
You hear some like rough coughing suddenly, and as the armor speaks in your head, if I remember right, it has telepathy. Let me double check.
It does.
Yes, okay, I thought it did. As it speaks in your head and goes, "That's rancid, old, wrong, not good."
Got it. Dragon blood ages typically, more powerful. Thought it might help. Sorry about that, buddy.
Like sour meat.
Got it. Don't worry, I won't do it again.
As you feel the armor just not really upset, just more almost aghast and disgusted by the material it just tried to absorb. As you look on, kind of testing the material a little bit, as you do, it seems to be quite dried and very old from what you can tell, Eider.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do as you look upon it?
No, I think the others have got like the majority of like the good ideas already
That's fair.
taken care of.
All right. As the three of you kind of look about, gathering your stuff and have realizing, well, this would be a great place to set up a camp. As nothing can see through the waterfall, and Dom can kind of lay down in somewhat of a crouched position in here. As you lot kind of get yourself cozy for a moment, taking a moment to think and plan. This makes as good of a place to take a break as any, as you begin to crack open some food, bring out some of the meat from the bag of preservation. Thankfully, none of it living, as Dom cautiously pulls out some snake meat and begins to cook it over some fire as you lot begin to find some wood around the area and get something going. And I think that's where we'll end session today, as the party finds themselves taking a moment and waiting as they hear in the distance a screaming Ned yelling something about Kesdenok and Chili. As we'll return next time. We hope you enjoyed. We thank you all for watching, and we will be back with at least 2 more sessions before we take a small hiatus, potentially. Thank you all, and see you then.